Okay, no time to waste. Let's get right into this re-recording. Make this as quick as possible.
Video. Hopefully I don't get fucking claimed, dude. You put it at 1.7 times speed.
We open with a visual of a dark and desert-like terrain where round black
I need to turn that up to the max.
groups form up on the ground.
Dude, I gotta turn this up, bro. We just started. I'm gonna turn it down to 1.5. Yeah, but like, Yang, I was just kind of giving an introduction. You're not too late.
Boy Ichigo Kurosaki, a 15-year-old high school student, kicking the shit out of some guys who were skateboarding by and accidentally.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that shit. Bro, Thug Ichigo is like peak Ichigo, dude. Like, this is how you know Kubo is an edgy man, calling the Deicide arc the killing of God. I mean, that is just what Deicide mean. Like, Deicide just means the killing of gods. Which is so awesome, bro. That is so sick. But it is edgy. Like it is so sick, bro. But like it is so sick. I can't follow what the guy's saying too fast, then you just have to pay attention to my critiques. Because I can follow it. But maybe my brain is just insane with all the myelination it's packing.
Knocked over a vase with some flowers. Why, you ask? Well, Ichigo's no ordinary teen. He has the ability to see the souls of dead people. The flowers were for a little girl whose spirit is still lingering about. Not sure why this kid would actually attack people for something like this, but alright. He yells at them to a...
Wait.
Yeah, quick little thing on this. I worded this incorrectly in my video. I should have worded this differently. I said I wasn't sure why this kid would attack people like this. Took it the wrong way. I should have just taken it as precisely as what it was. That Ichigo would attack someone for something like that. And he's kind of, I don't know, kind of a bully in a way. The girl you see on screen right here, she's a ghost. And ghost in the sense of like ghost or spirit in real life. These guys have no idea she exists or anything like that. They accidentally knocked over a vase and Ichigo beats the shit out of them. But yeah, I should have just taken it for what it was. That Ichigo is absolutely willing to open with violence for something like this.
Okay, well, I think that's already like kind of like a flaw, right? Saying like I don't know why this kid would attack people over something like this. That's clearly to show that like Ichigo's a very compassionate person, right? Which is a very like central point of his character. Like Ichigo, like, and that's one of the flaws are the issues I have with Ichigo. He's a very passive protagonist, meaning that Ichigo doesn't do things that causes the plot to move.
Yeah, he says compassion. He definitely cares about the girl. That's why he beats those people up. But you'd beat them up even though Ichigo just seemed, he's crazy to them. He knows no one else can see the kid and he's the only one that can, but he like stomps that kid out anyway. He definitely cares about the kid, but like I said, I should have just taken it for what it was, that he's willing to open with violence with something like this.
Things happen and Ichigo reacts to them, right? Like Rukia gets kidnapped. And then Ichigo responds to that by going to the Soul Society, right? Now within the Soul Society, he's a bit of an active protagonist, but like the main plot points of Bleach are like active that Ichigo is passively reacting to, right? Like Orihime gets captured, Ichigo reacts to it, right?
He's just talking about Ichigo's reaction. I'm gonna see if I can find the next thing here. She draws her sword, cuts the creature down, and after eyeballing her main boy, she kind of just rolls out. Later on that night, as Ichigo is laying in his room wondering about this woman, she casually just walks through the wall into his room. She says to herself, "It's getting..." Oh yeah, I didn't bring this up in my video. Ichigo, not Ichigo. Rukia is following a hollow, or she's tracing a hollow. That's kind of why she's in Katakuri Town in the first place, basically. And it somehow leads her to Ichigo's room. I never thought about it until after I'd already made the video. But someone had asked me how they met, and I was trying to like describe it to them. I was like, wait a minute, how the hell, why was she in his room? She's following a hollow, and it's somehow like she's in his room saying to herself, it's getting closer. She's kind of just like, she's almost as if she's waiting for it to get there. I don't know why she would do that, or why she would just wait in Ichigo's room, or how tracing the hollow even brought her here. But it's not in the video, so just something I'd mention here.
Okay, so this is all right. So now this is more or less just like plot summary, but where's the critique? Where's like the bad? You know what I'm saying? He's just stating a fact. I'm not a...
Yeah, I do a lot of like kind of rundowns. I did kind of a play-by-play. Well, kind of sort of a play-by-play. I mean, we're 1 minute and 30 seconds in.
Set.
You know, I'll tell you what. I'll see if I have a vague idea where the stuff is, but
Just saying.
See if I
Sit
could just
down,
fast
bro.
forward to the next one.
Watch.
Let's see here. I'll try to fast forward to all the important stuff.
Bleach bad, don't watch. Yeah, I want the critique.
Getting closer, completely ignoring Ichigo, who's yelling at her. So Ichigo, of course, does his thing and kicks the shit out of her. She's somehow shocked that Ichigo can see her, even though earlier Ichigo looked right at her and was clearly aware of her the minute she walked into his room. She reveals to her boy that she's a Soul Reaper, and that she was sent on a mission to their town from a place called the Soul Society to deal with monsters like the centipede we saw in town earlier. And I'm not really sure if she's even allowed to be giving away this information to anyone that can see her, but she chooses to do it anyway. Ichigo, not believing a word of this, calls her a brat and tells her to run along. Her response?
Bakudo number 1. Sight!
Yeah, my boy gets paralyzed, bro. I want to hear critiques. Lol, what is this right now? I guess it's just plot summary for now. Yeah, subs would be nice. Just use your big brain, bro. Here, I'll give you some subtitles. How about that?
Well, that's neat. Anyway, she takes a hilt of her sword and bonks it on the head of a soul that followed Ichigo home. He's worried, scared that he'll go to the underworld, but the soul...
I'm worried about that. Well, that's a neat comment. Like, I'm worried about that. Like, well, that's a neat, like, kind of comment that he just dropped out there. I'm kind of worried about that. Like, is there gonna be a critique for keto later?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. The usage of keto.
Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm not gonna look too much into it right now, but that's an interesting like comment to like thing to like harp on.
So
well, not harp on, but just to comment on. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
that he's going to go to a better place, the Soul Society, where his soul would be at peace, and that doing such things is one of the main responsibilities of a Soul Reaper. Why she didn't do this for the girl in town earlier, I don't know. She then goes into further detail that there are two kinds of spirits: holes, which are normal good spirits, and evil hollows that attack people, living or dead.
That is at least a good. I'll give him a point for there. Like the reason that why she didn't console the spirit there.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, kind of odd. But that's also okay. So I can at least answer this right, like right here.
Responsibilities of a Soul Reaper. Why she didn't do this for the girl in town?
It's because this scene is not in the manga. Like this.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I'm glad that you informed me that it's done. I guess this would mean it's done better in the manga if this scene doesn't happen. But as for the anime goes, it doesn't matter if it's not in the manga. It's an issue with the anime.
The scene of her getting like chased, like this girl just died.
Other responsibility that Soul Reapers have, which is to exercise hollows. Again, why she's telling him all this is beyond me. Another hollow is chasing the little girl around again when she trips and falls. The hollow stops and says he smells an even better soul nearby with this smell.
Well, I mean, the reason that she's telling him is because like Ichigo's like a fascinating entity, right?
Oh yeah, about this is about Rukia just talking with Ichigo and giving him all this information. I don't really know why she's doing this. The reason why I said I'm not even like I don't know why if she's even allowed to be giving away this information. The reason I made that comment is because Soul Reapers don't try to communicate with humans and give them any information on hollows or anything like that. They don't just walk around and guys informing the world of the living. They don't work with governments or anything. So that's why I say I'm not sure if she's even. I don't think she's allowed to be just giving out this information. She chooses to do so anyway because, as Bleachhub is about to say, it's going to help Ichigo. But this isn't something that ever concerns Rukia or anyone else about the humans that can't see or hear hollows or sense them and still get attacked all the same. But yeah, she sits around, she consoles the soul, and even before that, she's just talking with Ichigo and completely disregards the hollow that she was pursuing in the first place. It was actually a fairly powerful hollow compared to her anyway, and she just kind of lets it do anything. Well, she like it's right here. She lets it kind of come up on this little girl. I made a comment about this girl and what's happening right here, but I'm gonna have to concede to that because I actually don't even know. I'm an error on my end. I actually don't know if the hollow actually killed this girl, but we'll get there in a sec.
Because he's a human that can actually see spirits. So like, it would seem like, you know, if this guy can see other Soul Reapers under the Shinigami, wouldn't you want to like explain?
Yeah, I would have to assume that that's not something they're even allowed to do is just talk to humans in that way. But like I said, that Soul Reapers never actually try to talk to the humans and inform them on anything. But you know, Rukia does it here because Ichigo can see her and see the souls.
To him what's going on, especially that when that's her job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not far-fetched.
Well, their job is to kill hollows and protect humans. You know what? It actually would have been cool if the Soul Reapers did actually try to inform or work with the humans on the hollow situations, to, like actually inform them about how these things work, but that's not a thing. And like I said, I assume that she's not actually allowed to be giving out this information simply because no one else does it. No one else tried to do it. It's just her when she comes across Ichigo who can see her.
You know?
But then again, I don't know for sure because it's never brought up.
monitoring all the spiritual entities, why would you not explain it to somebody who's spiritually aware? I would think it'd be even more off, right? Like, if she didn't tell him about anything, you know?
Oh, hold on a second. Well, Rukia doesn't tell anyone, or any of the Soul Reapers doesn't tell anyone about anything, really. And they're in more danger than Ichigo because no one else, well, most other people can't hear or sense the hollows. Whereas Ichigo can. But Bleachhub is saying that because of the reason why he can hear and sense them, why it makes sense for her to explain things to him so he can help Ichigo. But why don't, if this is a thing that they're actually allowed to, I'm assuming that this is actually not something that's allowed, but if this is something that they're allowed to do, why isn't it from like the jump as like a thing with the Soul Reapers and how they help protect humans? Why don't they tell all the humans about this world? Because no one else can hear and see this stuff, so they just get attacked. Whereas Ichigo, well, I mean, although he can, that was the first hollow he's ever seen. But yeah, it's also really odd that she's just stopping here, even though she's like supposed to be pursuing a hollow. But yeah, I mean, nothing really too big so far. Small stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be weird.
I'm not sure how weird it would be if she actually didn't tell him anything. Because there's no way. I was like, why would they be allowed to give information to humans about about hollows and the this other world that exists basically underneath their noses that they don't know about, and then not give humans all this information? I mean, sure, the humans can't see them, but you can't just go into a Giga and explain stuff to them. If once again this is that important to their protection, or this is something that's actually allowed, why just tell this to Ichigo, who can see her in all the hollows when no one else can, and they're just as fucked?
Be odd.
Smell of a Soul Reaper and chooses to pursue that instead. Now, that's an interesting decision right there. Why would you just leave your free meal just because you smell something better? Especially when that something better is in the same vicinity as a Soul Reaper. Are hollows?
I mean, I'll just ask that. I'll just answer that question with a question. Like, if you're about to eat like a piece of bread, right? But then the server is just like, oh, if you go to that table over there, there's a nice steak dinner.
Horrible analogy, but he fixes that later on when he mentions that, well, yeah, it is a steak, but you have to fight for your life to get it. Real quick here, I'll actually concede on this to Bleachhub. I have no idea whether or not that hollow consumed that little girl. I kind of would have to just concede to this. Hollows are supposed to have this endless hunger, like a hive from Destiny, and it was like, I wasn't sure. I thought he just left the girl, but I was like, maybe he still devoured the girl and then went to Ruki and Ichigo anyway. But yeah, I have no idea whether or not that's what he did. So I'll have to. This is my error here.
Why would you eat the piece of bread when there's a nice steak dinner over there? You just gotta walk like comparatively like 3 feet away. Like,
you have to fight a samurai.
Go get the steak.
A magic
samurai. And then it's just like, oh, there's a Soul Reaper over there. It's
there
like, yeah, but Soul Reapers and hollows are relative. Like,
you still have to fight for your life. It doesn't matter if they're relative.
They've been battling each other for quite a while, especially early on in the series.
Well, at every point in the series, there's some Soul Reaper who is relative to a hollow, or some hollow who's relative to a Soul Reaper. The Soul Reapers of all varying degrees, just like hollows, varying power levels like them too. You have your jobbers, like the random foot soldiers in the Soul Society. You have your like 3rd and 2nd seats, and your lieutenants and captains. You have hollows that can match all of those.
Portrayed to be more like relative-ish to each other, right? Because all we have right now are like basic bitch shitting on me. So like, it's a very odd thing to say, right? Especially because like now in this current moment, we don't have the knowledge that hollows are like eternally like hungry souls.
It's like, yeah, you as the audience don't know about their hunger, but in universe that is a thing. You don't have that information, but that's part of how the hollows work. And he does this. I remember he does this again, where he talks about how, well, we don't know how that information yet, so you can't criticize this. It's like, well, no, it's all part of the universe and the story and how it's put together, and the internal consistency. So you can definitely criticize it, but we'll get into more of that stuff later.
Right. But even if they're not, right, like you could also just say that like Shinigami are just more satisfying for them to eat, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even if you're always hungry, might as well eat the good shit, you know what I'm saying? Why fill up on bread? You know what I'm saying?
Only capable of consuming one soul at a time, because why else would you take such a risk? Am I overthinking this? Maybe. For some reason, Ichigo...
Yes, massively overthinking it, my dude. Because again, like you're obviously gonna go for like the better food. Like this is even like hollows are very like animalistic in nature, right? And this is something that like you'll study like if you study animals, right? Like animals will like leave a piece of food that is inferior to like a better prospect, right?
I don't know if that analogy he's making to animals in real life holds up with hollows because of their never-ending hunger. I don't really see why a hollow would actually leave anything around. Really, their hunger never ends. I think it's part of the reason why they even called hollows in the first place. They're just stuck in the state of just. It actually sounds like agony, to be honest. They're just never satisfied.
And they're very animalistic in nature. Now that's obviously like don't apply to every single like fucking animal known to mankind, right? But like still, it's like a general rule. Like everybody's gonna go for something like they're just gonna go for something better. Doesn't she get eaten in the manga? Yeah, I just talked about that.
Hear the hollow, and the Soul Reaper can't. Not until it's already arrived, anyway. While rushing towards it,
Yeah, Ichigo actually senses the hollow before Rukia, which is kind of odd. But she takes note of it shortly after and even talks about how it's amongst the strongest hollow spiritual pressure she's ever felt.
even states that the spiritual pressure is amongst the strongest she's ever felt before. Kairin's already been taken by the hollow when Ichigo throws himself down the stairs, sees all this taking place, and forces
I love Ichigo throwing him down the stairs. Oh, look at him. Look at this bitch just flopping down the stairs. Just be like, it's so funny. I love it. He just threw himself down the stairs, bro. I love it. It's so goofy.
his way out of the spell the Soul Reaper put on him, and rushes to save his sister. You see, these hollows were after our main boy all along. Apparently, his soul was exposed when he made contact with the little girl, and as it would happen, most of Ichigo's spirit energy was hidden within him until he needed to protect his sister. Hearing all this,
Most of his prayer ninja. Bro, what is up with these subtitles? Man, I'm just going to say, y'all the ones that wanted the subtitles.
and thinking it was all his fault, Ichigo runs into the street to face down the hollow like a complete idiot, instead of letting the Soul Reaper do her job. Ichigo just about to get him.
Well, again, like, this is also to show that Ichigo's a very compassionate.
Yeah, he goes on about how compassionate and caring Ichigo is, which I agree. I do think what he still did was stupid, though. I do admit that he's very compassionate. That's the whole reason why he went into the street anyway. So when he goes downstairs and sees it taking place and forces his way out of the keto Rukia put on him, the hollow kind of knocks him to the side. The hollow's holding his sister. Rukia actually steps in and cuts it. Did he cut it the hollow's hand, or did he cut it clean off? Regardless, she attacked the hollow. Got it to put his sister down. Ichigo catches his sister, and that's when the hollow kind of backs off. Actually, he like teleports away. Rukia starts talking to him because it's still around somewhere. It's gonna come back at least, and she's telling him how the hollows were after him all along, basically. And Ichigo takes it as no way. He takes it like I'm the one that put my sister in danger, and he puts his sister down on the fucking floor and runs into the street to face the hollow. I remember just take your sister and leave. Like, why you? I mean, I guess yeah, his compassion for some reason doesn't lead into like protecting his sister and just leaving. It leads into just like throwing his life away. Because I guess if he just leaves with his sister, this hollow's just gonna keep following him, or maybe other hollows. So instead of just living, even though Kairin can also see hollows like him, he goes into the street and he's like, "Yeah, just kill me instead." And it's just like, well, that was kind of dumb, right? Rukia just lets it happen. By the way. He faces down the hollow, so the hollow starts teleporting back, and he just runs at it and stops, and then he faces it down for a while, and then starts charging at him. And Rukia just kind of watches him stare down the hollow, and then jumps in at the last minute and gets herself bitten on the shoulder. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely cares about his sister and he's compassionate, but it was still dumb what he did. I don't know why he would do that. He's like, yeah, they were after me all along. Fine, just kill me. But just leave with your sister. The hollow is gone already. Just, go. It comes back and he's like, no way, this is my fault. Puts his sister down and is like, kill me. I get he's definitely that kind of character. I do know the archetype, but he's just like willing to throw his life away for something like this when he really doesn't have to. I still see what he did as pretty foolish, but
individual, right? And that like protecting others above himself is like one of his primary motives, right? Like he literally says in this scene, like, eat me instead. Like, yeah. If you're hungry, just fucking eat me. Like, Ichigo was prepared to die if it meant that, like, this thing would eat him instead of his sister, right?
Even though his sister was free and they could have just left and Rukia was, like, gonna fight the hollow anyway. I guess the fact that his sister got in trouble because of him just infuriated him so much that he's just like, all right, fine, kill me.
So, like, again, it's supposed to show that, like, this is something that Ichigo values a lot. Right, that he's very much like trying to protect people all the time, right? And that like he'll put his life on the line to protect people. You know what I'm saying? think you're overthinking this, my dude, bro. Like, I think you're overthinking it because he's like, I don't know why he would do this. It's very dumb. It's like, yeah, but he's like a very compassionate person, right? Like
I understand his compassion. I do think it's very foolish what he does.
he has that like same level of like, I'll protect this person over everything else.
Self-killed when the Soul Reaper swoops in, as in right into the mouth of the Hollow to save Ichigo at the last minute instead of just moving him out of the way. She rightfully calls Ichigo a fool and gives him her Soul Reaper powers because she's too injured to fight. We get her.
I mean, that's just like a that's the same critique that you could have about like why didn't Piccolo move Gohan out of the way of like Nappa's attack? Maybe he didn't have enough time. Maybe the Hollow.
Yeah, I don't know about. I'm not sure. I don't know how that Nappa and Dragon Ball Z thing worked, but in this particular situation, Ichigo runs into the street to face the Hollow, talks to it. The Hollow screams at him, charges him, and then Rukia steps in. Rukia just watches as he just. Rukia, it's like that scene in Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, where Wanda kills the Illuminati. It's like they're just watching them fuck up their like someone that they're supposed to be protecting or helping or fighting along with. Rukia just lets him do this, and then at the last minute jumps into the way, which is basically into the mouth of the Hollow in front of Ichigo.
It's too fast. Like I think that's.
It wasn't too fast. None of that happened. Maybe I don't know if he's just misremembering Bleach, but yeah, that's not what happened.
Not a very good critique to give. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing.
Why is that? Well, I mean, if you say it's the same thing, I'll trust you because I don't know that Dragon Ball Z scene. But why is that a bad critique? It's like Rukia just watches as Ichigo talks to the Hollow and then it charges him. She could have casted a spell, just attacked it again. I think she cut off its. I can't remember if she cut its hand before or she cut off its hand, and it made it flee for a second.
Her name, which is Rukia Kuchiki, and Ichigo kills the Hollow to a pretty bad soundtrack with no difficulty whatsoever. Rukia says she only intended to give Ichigo half her powers, but he nearly took.
I even disagree with that. Ichigo, like, Rukia had to coach him through that fight. As short as it is, Rukia did have to kind of coach him through that fight because Ichigo was like chopping off its arms, and
Rukia never coached Ichigo through the fight. Ichigo gets the powers, kind of blitz the Hollow, cut off its hand. Then the Hollow turns to charge at him again. Ichigo does the same, and he immediately kills the Hollow. That never happened. Ichigo definitely is way more powerful than the Hollow, and he took it out with no difficulty whatsoever. He didn't need any coaching. He cut off its hand and then cut it right down the middle.
is like, Dingleberry, like, go for the head.
What? I don't know where he's getting. Wait a minute. Let me give me a second to check something here. That never happened. No, Ichigo just kills the Hollow.
Like, Stinky, go. Like,
where is he? I don't know where he's getting that from, but that never happened in the anime.
Don't pull a Thor, bro. Go for the head. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say no difficulty whatsoever. Like, he's definitely stronger than the Hollow, but he was kind of being like a dummy. And if Rukia was in there, he might have unironically gotten himself whacked.
Absolutely not. That was not gonna happen. Ichigo just, I don't know. Is he talking about the manga? That never happened. Ichigo just absolutely destroys that Hollow in the anime.
To all of it. So now we have Ichigo Kurosaki, high school student, and now Soul Reaper. In the next episode, we get a bit more of Ichigo's day-to-day life at his school, Karakuri Town High School. Fellow classmates, notably Orihime, Chad, and oh wait, what's this? Somehow Rukia got into this.
Odahime, bro. Isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Isn't there a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Odahime or something?
School overnight. Turns out she can't return to the Soul Society because she's too weak. Huh. She got herself a Gigai body she can use to appear as normal human girls, so everyone can...
What do you mean, huh? She's too weak. He sapped all of her.
I said, because if you're too weak because you gave Ichigo your powers, just take your powers back or have him give your powers back. I was like, if you're too weak because you gave him, you intended to give him half your powers, he took most of it. Just have him give your powers back. Make yourself not weak and go back home or continue whatever mission it is you have here.
Power? What? What do you mean? Rukia should have been able to handle that Hollow. She did say it was amongst the strongest she's ever felt, and she was kind of like shooketh a little bit.
Yeah, that Hollow was pretty strong.
So I don't know. Fishbone D might have just been like Big Chungus strong for no fuck off reason. Which we do know that there are just like random Hollows that are really strong, like Grand Fisher, you know? Although it's kind of weird. Fishbone D might have had, like, it has to be like a newer, stronger Hollow because it doesn't have a bounty, right? So, like, it hasn't been around long enough to, like, get any notoriety, but it is pretty strong because, like, Rukia herself is not weak and she's like, holy shit, that guy's strong, bro. So, like, maybe. Or maybe Fishbone D's is unironically like just a big chunky hollow, you know what I'm saying?
And see her and talk to her. And until her powers come back, Ichigo's gonna have
But yeah, like I don't how can you criticize and say that like, she got all like she's too weak. Like
There's not really a criticism there. All I said was, huh.
Ichigo stole all of her powers. Like she literally
No, Ichigo took most of her powers. Rukia still has powers, just very little.
says I meant to give him half, and he took all of my power.
He didn't take all of her powers.
Like, yeah, like of course she's gonna be too weak.
to play her part for a while. Why doesn't she just call for backup or inform the Soul Society that she was heavily injured in battle and needs someone to spot her for a while? Or I don't know, have Ichigo give her powers back? LOL, that's why.
Yeah, I said 3 things here. Why doesn't she just call for backup or inform the Soul Reaper? Call for backup, inform the Soul Society she's been heavily injured in battle, which would explain her weakened state, but they'd probably sense that Ichigo has her powers. Or 3, have Ichigo give her powers back. It's a multitude here. 2 of those things don't work, actually. Calling for backup is a bad idea because it's going to be... I'm sure they did have to sense Ichigo has her powers. Because Ichigo, if I remember correctly, just lets the power just pour out of him for anyone to sense. 2, inform the Soul Society that she's been heavily injured. I mean, they might buy that, but if someone comes there, they'll still be able to sense Ichigo and they know something's up. So that's probably risky too. But 3, have Ichigo give her powers back is probably the safest bet.
No, not LOL. That's why they're gonna explain later that like it's a grave crime and like
Yeah, they explained the first 2 of those things. It's never brought up why Ichigo doesn't give her powers back though. So yeah, I'll definitely give him the first 2. Well, not the whole like calling for backup, but informing the Soul Society she's been. I'll give him that too because if anyone actually does end up coming here, yeah, the first 2.
that like this is alluded to in like the next 20 episodes. Like throughout the entire time, like not only is Rukia like being very dodgy about like clearly Rukia has a reason for why she's there, but she's being
The reason why she was here is for the Hollow. She was here to kill Hollows in Katakura Town.
being very dodgy around like the
Oh, I guess he means the reason why she's there after she gives her powers to Ichigo. They drop hints. You have a few scenes with Kisuke. There's nothing really too like sinister or no like crazy dark undertones. But Rukia isn't being that dodgy as to why she's still there after she gives Ichigo her powers. There's certain little things with Kisuke that definitely makes you, raises the audience's eyebrows and make them think, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is she a villain? No, it's nothing like that. It's because she gave Ichigo her powers. But we don't find that out until late. We find that out from a guy who I found out was filler. Like, he's the one that says, Rukia, giving your powers to Ichigo is a serious offense. But yeah.
real reason as to why she's saying it, right? And then you also have someone like Kisuke who's always like Kisuke, every time he sees Rukia, he's just like, hey, this is really bad. I can't help you with this, right? Like, I can't, protect you or like, cover for you at all. So like Kubo does a very good job at foreshadowing that there is something very wrong going on here, right? Like, why is this lady still here? Why is she being dodgy about it? And then in like the coming episodes, you have like
Okay. I guess we have different sides on this in a way. So, as the audience, the reason why she's here is exactly why she says she's still here. Now, the whole thing about she's being dodgy, it's like, well, nothing seemed dodgy about her being here. She showed up here, she got hurt by a hollow. She gave her powers to this random kid who can see her, who can see all the hollows and sense them as well. And now she intended to give him half her powers, but the kid, Ichigo, took most of her powers. And because she's so weak now, and because Ichigo's carrying around the bulk of her powers, he's going to need him to do her job. There's nothing really dodgy about that. That makes perfect sense. It's like, well, yeah, well, assuming that you can't just, excusing the fact that you say, why don't you just give my powers back to me, Ichigo? But yeah, it's like, well, yes, my job was to kill hollows around this town, protect people, save people. Now that you have the bulk of my powers and I really can't do that anymore, I'm going to need you to pick up my end, pick up the slack for me, to help people, to do what, to do some really good in keeping the balance of what essentially I believe is the entire universe. So there's nothing really out of the ordinary there. There's nothing dodgy or odd, right? When she interacts with Kisuke, yes, we do get some hints that something is going around, that something is going on. But there's nothing suspicious or anything dodgy about what's going on with her and Ichigo. Everything that's happening there seems very natural. And it's like, yeah, cause and effect. Everything's falling into place as to why she's still here and as to why she needs Ichigo to be a Soul Reaper for a while. Which I think is only lasts for a couple weeks or a couple months, something like that.
weird shot, man. Like, why is he there? Like, this is not a very well formulated criticism, right? Because like they are building it up slowly as to like that there is something ominous going on there.
I mean, for God's sake, she gets orders from the Soul Society on her cell phone. And although Ichigo doesn't want to do her job, she uses a special glove to remove his soul from his body to bring out his soul Reaper form, which is definitely not how that worked the night before, but okay. They travel to a point where Boy's being attacked by a hollow, but Rukia plays a little Reaper form, which is definitely not how that worked the night before, but okay. They travel to
I mean,
About this here, about the whole, like, wait a minute. The night before, you stabbed him in the chest to give him powers, and now you're using the glove to remove his soul from his body. And I will concede to this error in my video again. It seemed as if either Rukia or Kisuke came along and did something to them. No one seems to be aware of anything that's happened the night before. Even Ichigo seems to be kind of confused. Yeah, he says it's a miracle, and Ichigo's father says it's a miracle that a truck hit their house. Yuzuru and Karin are completely fine, and it doesn't seem like anyone really remembers what happened the night before. So maybe maybe Rukia and or Kisuke did something to them. So I will concede to this.
it's the same catalyst, yeah.
Well, not really. The glove is to remove his soul Reaper form from his body, and the sword was to give him powers.
Like, Rukia tells him to put the Zanpakuto literally in his soul, and it pushes out his soul, and he becomes like a Shinigami, right? And that's how he.
Well, it doesn't just push out his soul. That was to give him powers, give Ichigo her powers, and this glove is to remove. The glove is just to remove that form from his body. The sword was to give him powers.
Awakens his Shinigami form, and then this is just a glove that does the same thing, right?
No, it doesn't do the same thing.
But she doesn't have like a Zanpakuto to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, you're not supposed to do it the Zanpakuto way anyway, so it makes sense that they have something to force souls out of.
Well, you're not supposed to give people powers. I don't know if you're not allowed to just like remove people's souls from their body.
The bodies, right? Especially because we're gonna learn in like the next few episodes that hollows can put souls in inanimate objects and other like animals, right? So it makes sense that the Shinigami would have these tools.
I don't have a problem with the tools
to separate the souls from their bodies.
Yeah.
That they would have these tools at their disposal.
Yep.
Especially when you're not supposed to do it the other way, right?
a point where Boy's being attacked by a hollow, but Rukia plays a little game. You see, Ichigo can't resist helping someone in need, especially now with his new sword powers, but Rukia stops him and gives him a good talking to.
Wait, hold on!
What is it?
That boy's a complete stranger, isn't he?
So what? I can't just stand by and let this happen. You expect me to watch him die?
Don't be such a fool!
Huh?
In the eyes of a soul reaper, all the spirits...
Isn't it crazy how like episode 2 wraps around to the motivation of episode 1?
I think right here he's talking about how Ichigo can't resist helping this kid. Even though Rukia had to force him to help, like he had to bring him here to see it happening for him to give a damn because he didn't want to do her job. He didn't want to save any of these people. But I mean, yeah, sure.
Not nuts.
of this world are equal. Getting involved simply because spirits are nearby or they need help isn't how it works.
This is exactly what she's telling him right here. It's like, so because they're close to you makes you want to get involved, but you don't care under any other circumstance?
Leave him be. If you intend to help this child, then commit yourself to saving every spirit.
Exactly.
And of course, Ichigo saves the kid, but then goes on with some shenanigans about how he saved the kid because he wanted to, and that Rukia was similar when she saved him, and that you don't think about your duty when you save someone. And I'm just sitting here confused as to why it even matters why you're doing it when you're getting the same thing done.
It doesn't matter why you're putting your life on the line for others. Oh my god. Like,
Yeah, definitely worded that incorrectly there. It does matter. I shouldn't have said that. It does matter why you're doing it. The issue that I took part with here is they have Ichigo thinks that he's telling Rukia that you don't just save people because it's your duty, all right, because it's your job or anything like that. And he tells Ichigo that he's going to choose to be different, even though he's not actually different and he didn't want to do this until he was kind of in a way forced to. But Soul Reapers in general, they become Soul Reapers and they fight hollows and protect people and save lives to keep balance for the same reason why Ichigo is about to do it, because they're good people. Soul Reapers are the good guys in general across the board, and that's the reason why most Soul Reapers become a Soul Reaper. Not all Soul Reapers are warriors and fighters. Some of them are pencil pushers, essentially. Not all of them are actually on the battlefield, but most of them are like Ichigo. Most of them are like Rukia, where they do what they do because they want to protect people. I liken them to police officers a lot. And instead of like a neighborhood or a state, you know, it's like the entire world that the Soul Reapers have to kind of cover up and fight hollows and protect these people. But yeah, that's the only issue here. The first part of that about how it didn't matter why they're doing what they're doing was wrong. It definitely matters why they're doing what they're doing. They probably shouldn't have just said it outright like this, that Ichigo's like, I'm choosing to be different, even though he's not. But Rukia doesn't say anything back to him. It's like, Ichigo, you wanted to like be a Soul Reaper now and protect people because I brought you out here to see this little kid, and I said, you know, she gave him that good talking to, as I mentioned. It's like, you're not actually different though. Like, you're actually worse because you didn't want to do this until I actually pushed you to it. But Rukia kind of just lets him have it, even though most Soul Reapers do what Ichigo is saying that he's doing, being different, for that exact same reason. They're just good people. They want to like the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, why do you care about saving the universe so much, Quill? And he says, I'm one of the idiots who live in it. Soul Reapers do what they do to protect everyone and everything. In a very literal way, because I do think the universe essentially ends if they don't keep the balance. But yeah, the first part of this was definitely my error.
Will you post this? No, it's gonna be up for channel members, bro. But it's just like, I don't know. Have you ever talked to like anybody in the military? They all have like different reasons for why they entered the military, and like, because fundamentally, like, when you're in the army, right, you're like, I'm gonna protect this country and the people that live in it, right? I'm gonna protect their freedoms, right? Like, that's generally the reason you would go in like the military, at least in the U.S., right? Mm-hmm. There's other benefits and perks that you can get, but everybody has their own different reason for going in, right? And so he's literally like, I don't get why we're getting their motivations. Like, why are they talking about their motivations? Weird. Like, I don't know why you're critiquing that. Like, they're just like,
yep, definitely. I shouldn't have. That's not actually an issue.
They're just talking about why they're doing what they're doing. And then Ichigo's calling out Rukia for being like, hey, man, like, you don't just do this out of duty. You put your life on the line.
Okay, so that's my only issue about the half of this, by the way, about how he's quote unquote calling out Rukia about the duty stuff and that he's choosing to be different. It's not true what he's saying. Sure, it's her job as a Soul Reaper, but, you know, they wanted to do that job for the reason. They wanted to do that. Rukia picked up being a Soul Reaper, just like how most Soul Reaper becomes Soul Reaper, because they want to save people, because they want to help people, because they want to keep the balance. Ichigo's reason for doing this, for saving people and helping people, is most Soul Reapers. He's not actually different, but Rukia doesn't respond to him, and she kind of just lets him have it.
To protect me when, like, you know, I was in danger, right? And that wasn't part of your duty.
It was part of her duty.
Yo, Devin, that's facts. My synapses are just insanely cracked. Basically, the Raikage.
Okay, let's get to the next stuff here.
Substitute Soul Reaper. Fast forward the next few episodes, Rukia is crashing in Ichigo's room, and we get some juicy info. One, fucking up a hollow with a Soul Reaper's sword, a Zanpakuto, is not the same as killing it. Instead, the Zanpakuto cleanses its soul and allows it to enter the Soul Society. Now, despite this fact, Soul Reapers almost always refer to cleansing hollows as killing them, so keep that in mind. Now, I assume it's a...
Yeah, because the hollow dies, yeah?
Yeah, I guess this is, I guess it's like an Anakin Darth Vader thing. Because the way I took it was, they say they like I said, they cleanse the hollow. That's what's actually happening, even though they always refer to as killing it. And I was just like, well, you didn't, okay, so like this person here on screen, this is Orehime's brother. Orehime's brother turned into a hollow. And then he kind of regains his senses for half a second, where he removes his mask and he stabs himself with Ichigo's sword. And I guess what he's saying is that, well, the hollow is dead and the brother goes over. But I thought the way I took it was the hollow becomes, the person becomes the hollow. I didn't take them as two separate beings. Like I said, like Anakin and Darth Vader. You know, it's like Vader's like, I killed Anakin, I destroyed him. And it's just like, well, you are Anakin. So I guess it's like that, where it's like they're kind of not the same. Like the hollow that they become isn't really the same soul that turned into the hollow, even though it's the soul that, you know, gained the hole in his chest and got a mask. And it's literally the same person. But yeah, I guess it's like that.
The hollow is dead, right? And they're like cleansed and they become the spirit.
Yeah, I never
again.
took the hollow as separate from the person. I always took it as, well, the person became the hollow. But I guess the way Bleachhub is saying it is the Anakin Darth Vader route, where they're like, it's taken as separate.
So yes, that is logically consistent, because you have killed the hollow. You could almost look at it as like the hollow contains the spirit, and by killing the hollow, you release the spirit. You know?
I guess
the hollow does like die. Like, you know, Orihime's brother.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it like that, where the hollow isn't the same person. It's someone that's like taken over the spirit, even though the way it's described and the way it's explained is, well, the spirit becomes the hollow.
There is not still a hollow in the Soul Society. He is now just like a free spirit. The hollow that was Acid Wire is dead.
the sword specifically, since Orihime's brother turns into a hollow and kills himself with Ichigo's sword, and Rukia sets us all fine. 2, Soul Reaper's souls taste the best of hollows. And 3, Zanpakuto can only cleanse the souls of hollows who did bad things after they'd already become hollows. If they commit horrible crimes while living, their soul is sent to the underworld instead of the Soul Society. By episode 6, we get introduced to Kisuke Urahara, a candy shop owner who's been providing Rukia with the means to sustain her Gigai, and even gives her a little something for Ichigo
Master
to transform into his soul
Urahara.
form when she's not around that inserts a March soul into his body until he's returned back to it. In episode 7, Ichigo meets this Kisuke.
It's kind of weird that he doesn't mention that, like, Kisuke implies that what Rukia is doing, because I think that goes against his earlier criticism. He's like, oh, I don't know why she doesn't just go back home. And it's like,
No, that's not what I said. I didn't say I don't know why she. That wasn't on any of my 3 things. I don't know why how he just misremembered that. Why doesn't she call for backup from the Soul Society, inform them she's been injured, or take her powers back from Ichigo? That was the 3 things.
like, oh, it's crazy. It's like Kisuke totally like compounds on the setup that's going on there. Rukia is being super weird and dodgy about why she can't go back.
Rukia isn't being weird and dodgy about why she can't go back though. It makes perfect sense. There's nothing out of the ordinary. There's nothing for Ichigo to be suspicious of. It's like, yeah, I took her powers. She needs me to do her job now because she can't do it because I've taken so much of her energy.
I think Kisuke's almost just there to like blatantly tell you.
Kisuke isn't there to blatantly say anything. The filler guy says later on that Rukia did something that giving Ichigo her powers was a big bad.
Why like she can't go back. He's like, hey, you did bad thing.
No, that's not how any of that went.
Right?
He's just headcanon and stuff.
It's almost like Kisuke is there for people that have that take. If you're like, I don't get why Rukia is not going back.
Kisuke, well, if you excuse the filler guy, Kisuke is there for that take after she's been taken. But he's not even required for that anymore because once she gets taken, you know why. Because Renji and Byakuya make it clear that it's her giving her powers to someone that why she's in trouble. Even though, yeah, because they're like, Ichigo, this is the human that stole your powers, or this is the human you gave your powers to. Now let's kill him. That was kind of the Renji and Byakuya make that clear. Ichigo finds out because Ichigo wasn't around when they were talking, and after Ichigo shows up and gets beat up, that's when Kisuke tells him.
Like, it's just like, and Kisuke's like, because what you did was bad.
No. Kisuke throws subtle hints. Kisuke and Rukia's conversation has subtle hints in it as to like something's going on here. Something outside. It makes it seem as if something outside of Rukia and Ichigo, something else is going on. But that the issue is her giving her powers to Ichigo. That's the issue, which was never clarified until the end after Rukia was already gone. Unless Bleachhub thinks that there was something there that made you know that because Kisuke never says it outright. Kisuke just tells Rukia like Miss Kuchi. Is that Miss Kuchi, what you're doing is going to get you caught up. You have no idea what it is that's going to get her caught up. And there's no way you would have actually suspected that it's Ichigo taking her powers or being given her powers is what's going to get her caught up.
Like, you did bad. You're not allowed to go home.
Yeah, Urahara.
Just who are you guys anyway?
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
From a meta perspective, it's obvious that this really vague and arbitrary dialogue is just here to stop Kisuke from revealing too early that he's an ex-Soul Reaper who lived in the Soul Society and knows basically everything about the world and Ichigo, and simultaneously one of the dumbest characters in Bleach. I'm not sure why narrative-wise he doesn't just come clean to
Huh? Wait a minute.
This really vague and arbitrary dialogue is just here to stop Kisuke from revealing too early that he's an ex-Soul Reaper who lived in the Soul Society and knows basically everything about the world and Ichigo, and simultaneously one of the dumbest characters.
Oh my god, he actually said that like Kisuke is one of the dumbest characters in the series.
Absolutely. I think Kisuke's one of the dumbest characters. Aizen's up there too, but I don't really compound on their whole thing until like part 2 and 3. But I have what I believe to be very good reasons as to why these characters are absolutely foolish, ridiculous characters, but that doesn't come up until much later on.
Series, right? But it's like this because how do you explain this to somebody? How do you explain this to like a substitute Soul Reaper who knows nothing of the Soul Society?
They didn't ask you about the Soul Society.
How do you explain the entirety of like the Soul Society setup, and then your long like 100-year history as being a captain?
Ichigo, wait a minute.
And then who Aizen is, who all these motherfuckers are. Like what?
Ichigo, none of that is required right here. I do believe that's important that he should know about that. But Ichigo asks Kisuke and of course his friends here, Tessai and the little redhead boy and the girl, who are you guys? And like I just said, I'm an ex-Soul Reaper who used to live in the Soul Society. I was banished, or if you don't want to tell him that, I'm retired now. I own a candy shop, and I'm kind of just helping all the Soul Reapers like yourself and Rukia. Yeah, I don't know where that source with the serite and the eyes and stuff. Like, well, that's not really what was asked. You can just tell him who you are.
Like, dude, you really think like it's so odd, dude.
Why is it odd? Ichigo asking Kisuke who he is and Kisuke telling him, I used to be a Soul Reaper. I now live here in the world of the living. And I help Ruki and you protect the town, basically. Keep everyone safe. I don't think anything's odd in that. And I don't know why he went off about Aizen and the other stuff there. It's like, well, yeah, that would definitely be a bit much for Ichigo right now. Although that information is very important and he should know. But as for right now, you could just start with a simple introduction.
That's like being like, dang, when Goku met Kami didn't tell him who the Supreme Kais were.
That's not the same thing. That would be the same thing if Goku met Kami, like for the first time they see each other. And Goku was like, man, who are you? I don't know about the whole, like,
Or who?
I don't think that's the same thing as what's happening here. Because he goes off, he takes Ichigo asking Kisuke, who are you, to like, he's as if like he's asking Kisuke, like, who's Aizen? What's the Serite? It's like,
Who Beerus was.
Yeah, definitely not the same. It would be the same if Goku said to Kami, hey, who are you? Kami just chose not to. Beerus, like, yeah, well, Kami, I don't know. I can't even do the whole Dragon Ball because I don't know Dragon Ball like that. Maybe Kami knows Beerus, but just doesn't tell Ichigo. But he could tell, excuse me, Kami knows Beerus, but doesn't tell Goku. But he could tell Goku who he is. Introduce himself. There's nothing wrong here. It's odd. It's weird that they don't do that, but
You know? Or
but like I said, from a meta perspective, it's really clear that you get to have that payoff later on. Even though once Rukia gets taken and they train, Ichigo never really finds out who Kisuke is. It's not until they get to the Soul Society in the Serite where Yoruichi's training Ichigo, and they're sitting in a bathtub where Ichigo just thinks to himself, hey, who exactly is Kisuke? And I love the fact that Yoruichi's actually annoyed at Ichigo, excuse me, at Kisuke. I was like, wait a minute, that jackass didn't tell you anything? He didn't, what do you mean? And this is like, wow, I should have known. And Ichigo finds out the information from Yoruichi that Kisuke was an ex-captain. Him and Yoruichi were very close. They used to train together in the secret area. And he was the head of research and development. I think he created that division. And Ichigo's like, man, I had no idea Kisuke was such a big shot in the Serite.
who Zeno was. He didn't explain any of that to Goku. Like, that might have been good knowledge to have. It's like, yeah, but he doesn't need to know it right now. It's not relevant to what he's doing.
Kisuke never thinks Ichigo needs to know it. Kisuke never tells Ichigo anything. Like, even including the eyes and stuff you mentioned, at no point did he ever think that Ichigo needed that information. It's Yoruichi that he gets it from. Despite the fact that they spent like half a month, or close to a month together, training and talking and discussing things. Well, not discussing very much, very obviously.
Which is a common trait for like intelligent characters, right? They're only going to tell you what they think you need to know.
Keep that in mind, what he just said there. That's a common trait for intelligent characters, that they only tell you what you need to know.
Which is actually really consistent with Kisuke's character, right?
Because I don't think Kisuke is intelligent at all, and he doesn't tell Ichigo what he needs to know. We'll come full circle on that.
Like, Kisuke, I mean, even in like Camp for Your Own World, right?
Okay, I have no idea what that is. How do I get to the next thing here? Okay. I guess this is the next thing, the next episode with this guy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna skip this guy too. Because he's filler. I don't really feel like harping on about it. Even though his position in the story actually makes perfect sense. It's like Ruki's been missing for a while. I'm not sure what the timeline is up to now, if it's a few weeks or if it's actually been over a month yet. Or 2 months. But his position makes it's like, yeah, Ruki's been gone. We haven't heard back from her. We're not, she's getting orders on her phone, right? And it's like, what's going on? She's almost off grid in a way. And so they send this guy because, of course, Rukia is not only a lieutenant of a captain, but she's also a noble. She's a Kuchiki. So it's perfectly fine. Makes sense to me why they'd be worried, why someone would be worried or concerned. So they send this guy to see about why she hasn't returned home yet, and if need be, bring her back himself. So it's strange because this guy is filler, and I was just like, well, that position, that stance, and what's happening, actually, it's like, well, it kind of makes perfect sense. It's like, well, yeah, this guy fits in very nicely. But yeah, nothing really comes of him. He kind of just lets it go and leave, and very shocked to find out he was filler. And yeah, it's from him where you find out that Rukia giving her powers to Ichigo is the issue. How do I get to the next part here? I gotta be very careful with this time bar. There we go.
I don't really know about that one, Chief. Like, he's like, we learned this. It's like, well, you should have already learned this from Kisuke and Rukia's dialogue.
Oh yeah, he's saying that we learned from this filler guy that Rukia giving Ichigo her powers is the big bad that's gonna cause her trouble. And he's like, I don't know about that one, Chief. We should have learned that from Kisuke and Rukia. How? He's just headcanon. I don't know if he's just misremembering or what, but there is no way you learn from any interaction that Rukia and Kisuke has. There's no way you learn from that it's that giving Ichigo her powers in the first episode is what's gonna get her in trouble. Absolutely no way. This guy says it outright that, hey, giving your powers to Ichigo is a big bad and you're gonna get in trouble for it. But okay, he thinks that you should have known the reason as to why she's still here from Kisuke, even though there's literally nothing to go on there except there's something wrong. That's the only thing you have.
Beforehand.
A group of people who are all about killing hollows, not cleansing, but completely destroying. That's a very important distinction. Were killed hundreds of years prior by soul reapers because their killing of hollows screwed with the balance that soul reapers were trying so hard to keep, and would eventually cause the destruction of the fucking world. And when they say world, it's implied that the Soul Society is included, so kind of just the entirety of Bleach. And despite the warnings from the Soul Society, the Quincy's continue the nonsense. I guess they just love shooting their blue arrows at hollows. So yeah, the soul reapers kind of had the high ground in that one.
I mean, they kind of...
Yeah, they definitely had the high ground. I've even heard that if I'm not mistaken, the Soul Reapers even tried to talk to them about it, but they just didn't care. So it's like, okay, you guys actually don't care if you destroy everything.
I just don't care.
Yeah, they
definitely
the
Quincy
don't.
are just like they're a vengeful group. They're like inherently supposed to be wrong, right? Like,
yeah, they are.
That's the whole point of Soken. Like, Soken Ishida's like, we're not the good guys. Like, the Soul Reapers are the good guys.
Oh, well, then there's nothing to discuss here. This is fine. Because even Uri was on their side. Like, yeah, I can't even say the Quincy's were right. So
Soken just kind of wanted the Quincy to use their ability, or the Shinigami to use their abilities, right? Like, that's wasn't the Soul Reaper in the Menos Forest anime canon? No, he was supposed to be. There's a manga chapter where Kubo says like, oh yeah, I wanted to incorporate this guy, but I couldn't actually fit him into the manga because the Ironclad saga was a bit too chock full of things. So yeah, he was supposed to be canon. There's a little insert at the end of the chapter in the Ironclad saga where Kubo has some sketches and he's like, yeah, I wanted to have what is his name? It's like A something, like A, not Aeon, but like something like that, you know. Basically, he just wanted him to be canon, but he's like, I couldn't find any time for him, right? But it's just like, yeah, like this is the whole point, is that the Quincy are wrong, right? Is that they are like a vengeful group. They
yeah, as I've already stated, like I said, there's nothing really to discuss here. Move on.
are like spiritually aware people that are tired of having hollows kill their friends, right, and devour their souls. So they're admittedly pretty pissed. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever lost like a family member or a friend.
I'm not really sure what he's going on. Like, I don't know. I guess he's just talking to the audience,
Especially to somebody else. But like, that shit is pretty fucking infuriating, right? And you're like, I want to obliterate that person, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it seems almost like heartless to be like, damn, I can't imagine somebody killed my mom.
Yeah, there's no way he's responding to me here. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. It must have been someone who said something.
And I was just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. Like, stop being weird. Like, just let him kill your parents,
Yeah, this whole section has nothing to do with my video.
bro. Who cares? It's for the greater good. You gotta let them just go. It's like, no, fuck that. I'm killing that motherfucker. He killed my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, look, okay, bro. Anybody ever watch any
Yeah, I don't even. I'm just gonna move on here. I don't know what he's going on about. See if I can find the next thing.
Quincy's are just like superior protectors, right?
Okay, this is important here. I skipped it.
It's like, dude, come on, man.
And Uryu, our Quincy boy here, actually agrees. The problem is Uryu has a chip on his shoulder, so he does some BS to draw out hollows and prove Quincy's are better than Soul Reapers by seeing who could defeat more between himself and Ichigo. Now, why doesn't this Quincy kid just challenge Ichigo directly to some sort of fight? I don't know. For some reason, he'd rather put innocent people in danger. At first, he's pretty confident he can...
No, that's... the reason that they do the contest and they don't just blatantly fight, because Ichigo...
Okay, it's funny he says no because that's my exact response to him, is no. Uryu brings hollows to Katakura-tan to see who between him and Ichigo can kill more hollows, right? And he thinks that him killing more hollows than Ichigo is going to prove that Quincy's are better than... Of course, killing these hollows is also going to protect people because, well, at the same time, he's the one that put him in danger anyway. He didn't intend for this thing to show up on screen right here, the Menos Grande. But the idea is who can kill more hollows is whoever wins the game, and whoever wins the game, whoever defeats more hollows is gonna prove. Like for instance, if he wins, it means Quincy's are better than Soul Reapers, even though Ichigo is not a real Soul Reaper. Ichigo is a substitute, a very inexperienced and young substitute who has no, and I mean zero, absolutely no training whatsoever. Uryu knows this, by the way. He even talks. He has a scene with Ichigo. He's just, what are you what are you doing here? You're just letting your powers and your spirit ribbons leak out of you. You're such a rook. Like, he's aware of this, but for some reason he thinks if he can kill more hollows than Ichigo, it means Quincy's are better than Soul Reapers. When Ichigo's not an actual Soul Reaper, he's a substitute picking up for Rukia and knows nothing about Ichigo. Even Uryu knows more about Soul Reapers than he does, and hollows on top of that, by the way. And yeah, Bleachhub is about to go on about how this has so many layers to it, about how Uryu is going from so many different angles and Ichigo just wants to fight. Very important to note, Ichigo just wants to stay between him and Uryu. Ichigo is absolutely like mind boggled at the fact that he's going to bring a bunch of hollows to Katakura Town. It's like, well, okay, are they going to come out of one portal? It's like, nah, they're just going to fall and just going to appear all over the town. And Ichigo's like, are you out of your mind? They're just going to put people in danger. And Uryu's very confident, by the way. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll kill all of them. Everyone's going to be fine. But it obviously doesn't go that way. Even before the Menos Grande shows up, there's a bunch of just random. The episodes are just a bunch of random people around Katakura Town getting attacked. Specifically, Ichigo's gang. What's later on going to become his gang. Chad, Uryu. Excuse me, not Uryu. Chad and Orihime get attacked. They damn near get killed. And Uryu definitely, like, he's an idiot, quite frankly, bro. He should have absolutely taken the fight with Ichigo. If he wanted to prove that that Quincy's were better than Soul Reapers, he probably should have started by challenging an actual Soul Reaper. The fight would have been much better if it made much more sense. But like I said, for some reason, this kid would rather put innocent people in danger. Even though, as far as Ichigo and the gang goes, or his group, or later becomes his group, Uryu's supposed to be the smart one, and he just this incredible, like, absolute fucking foolishness right here. And Ichigo is just blown away by it. It's like, dude, please don't bring hollows to Katakura Town.
But wants to blatantly fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Ichigo wants to keep it between between the two of them, right? It's like, dude, if you think you're so much better than me, fight me. And it's like, no, I'll kill more hollows than you, and that'll prove that Quincy's are better than Soul Reapers.
But Uryu's like, that's not good enough. He's like, if I beat you up in a fight, that just proves that I'm stronger than you.
Yeah, if you kill more hollows than Ichigo, that just proves that you're stronger than Ichigo too. That doesn't make you Quincy's better than Soul Reapers. You could at least get an actual Soul Reaper and challenge them. Ichigo is a substitute.
But if I'm better at protecting the city than you, then it proves that the Quincy...
If he's better at killing more hollows. Very important to know that distinction.
are better.
What just happened to the audio?
Like, the whole thing is that, like, Uryu wants to prove that, like, the Quincy's are just, like, superior protectors, right?
He wants to prove that Quincy's are superior killers. The game here is who can kill more hollows, Bleachhub.
Whereas, like, because
inadvertently doing that would protect the people, but yeah, the goal is to see who racks up the higher body count.
Ichigo's goal is, like, smaller in comparison to Uryu's eyes. Like, Ichigo...
I don't even know. I wouldn't word it like that. Ichigo doesn't want these people to be put in danger. When Uryu pulls out that little pill and says it's bait to bring hollows to Katakura Town, Ichigo is legitimately shocked at this man's fucking madness. He's gonna put a bunch of people in danger? What is wrong with you?
He just wants to fight one person and then just be like a move about his day.
Because he's compassionate and he doesn't want Uryu to put a bunch of people in danger, like you said, right?
Hey, but like Uryu wants to do something more grand.
Yeah, you almost said it. He wants to put people in danger.
To prove that he's better, right? Because now this is like a contest of how many hollows you can kill. It's a contest of endurance, right? You have to micromanage the entire city, right? So it's just like, it's also intelligence is played into
He's an idiot for doing this. Got to be honest.
Factor here. So like, Uryu's really trying to tackle this from like 3-4 different angles. Whereas like Ichigo's like, me want fight, you know?
Ichigo doesn't want to put people in danger. You yourself talk about his compassion and all this. It's like, yeah, the biggest thing here is that Ichigo doesn't want him to bring a bunch of hollows to Katakura Town, just roam all over the place.
Hollows, but Menos Grande eventually appears and freaks out Rukia. These big hollows are formed by hundreds of regular hollows merging together and becoming one, and are so powerful something called the Royal Special Task Force from the Soul Society has to be deployed for them. It's so powerful, Uryu's arrow that used to shred normal hollows can barely put a dent in it. But fear not, because Ichigo is big strong, and he overwhelms the Menos Grande with his insane spiritual pressure. So hooray. Also, this...
I mean, I don't want to say that they...
Oh yeah, I think this is another part. He does this quite a bit, and he does it increasingly more and more. I would say something. No negative, no pros or cons. I'll just state a fact. and it's for some reason he takes it as disrespect. He takes it as a critique. And I think that's what's about to happen here. Like I've just stated, the very powerful Hollow showed up and freaks out Rukia, but Ichigo overpowers it with his incredible spiritual power. And then we find out this is the same power why Kisuke has been keeping an eye on Ichigo. And he takes that this information and he says this.
Did explain it, but like they did explain it, right? Like I don't know, man. And demonetized?
Yeah, you don't know because I didn't say anything for you to latch onto. I just stated a fact about the show.
2 for the pay screen? What? Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm not really gonna defend the whole like Ichigo big power like reverses thing. Like I just think Kubo is trying to do something cool where he's like Ichigo reverses all of the power like that he took from the Hollow and splattered it back on his opponent. Like it's whatever. I don't care. Like I don't really care. Like if you don't like that, that's fine. Probably also don't like I don't know, like Goku just being like, oh, I can learn the Kamehameha like instantly. And just like, he's supposed to be a prodigy, but it's just like I don't really care about that either, you know? It's like who cares? Who cares, bro? Like, who cares?
There's nothing. Yeah, so I don't know. That was very strange and jarring, but there's nothing to like or dislike here. I'm just stating what happened and how they got rid of the Menos Grande.
Power is the reason why Kisuke's been keeping an eye on him, apparently. The next episode kicks off the main plot of the entire anime. Rukia packs her things one night to leave the Kurosaki clinic, leaving Ichigo a note thanking him. Her brother Byakuya and his partner Renji have finally arrived. How Rukia knew to leave at this very moment, mere seconds before they arrived, is coincidence, I suppose. Though Renji eventually stops her while she's running from the clinic and questions.
Bro, like, bro, you're acting like they weren't waiting there the whole time.
I'm gonna have to make another short of this. They weren't waiting there the whole time. Rukia walks out the house, looks back, and actually just before she takes off is when they show up in the sky, right above the clinic. They weren't watching her the whole time. Oh yeah, and he has an issue with me calling it a coincidence that Byakuya shows up just as she leaves Kurosaki's house. Even though that is a massive coincidence that the time they decide to actually go and pursue Rukia. I think she's been here for months now, and the day and time they show up for her is the exact time that she decides to leave. I say I suppose it's coincidence. I use that word specifically because I don't think there's anything that tipped her off that they were coming on this night. I think she just randomly ups and leaves because she's been there for so long, and it happens to be the time when they were pursuing her.
Dude, like, oh my god, I hate these like coincidence arguments where people.
Was that a coincidence argument? That's just the definition of coincidence. That is a coincidence. I don't know if I'd call this a coincidence argument. I say, although how Rukia leaves the exact same time they show up for her is mere coincidence, I suppose. I don't know if I'd call that a coincidence argument. Maybe it is.
I feel like people don't know when to properly criticize a coincidence, right? Like,
I feel like you don't know what coincidence means. I don't even know what his issue is here. That was a coincidence.
It'd be like, it's like, oh my god, like these two people from different solar systems just happen to be at the same bar at the same night when both of their parents happen to be murdered.
Well, what's the context there? I think is the important thing. These two people from different solar systems who meet at the same night, who both parents were murdered, and I think he says they ordered the same drink. There is context. Excuse me, I can't even talk anymore. There is context you can have there in that situation that would actually make perfect sense and alleviate how much of a coincidence that is. There is no context here that alleviates this coincidence here about how Renji and Byakuya show up. Literally just as literally just as Rukia packs her things and leaves. After months of her and Ichigo fighting Hollows together.
Same time they ordered the same drink with the same amount of ice cubes. Like, it's just like, that's some coincidence bullshit. But being like, well, I don't know. These people that are tracking her down waited for her to go outside, and she went outside when they were waiting for her. Isn't that a coincidence? Like, no, that's not a fucking coincidence, dude. That's like they were waiting for her to go.
Please, anyone who might see this, probably not going to be a lot of people. It's I'll tell you right now. What? It is episode. It's episode 15 and 16 of Bleach, first season. Please feel the need to verify that yourself. Or please feel free to verify that yourself.
Outside. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like,
Questions her about the whereabouts of the humans that stole her powers. I guess he and Byakuya somehow didn't take note of the incredibly high spiritual pressure coming from Ichigo, who's literally just letting it pour out of him at all times, which is mostly power Rukia.
But they weren't there. They just got there, bro. What do you mean?
Once again, I just have to assume that he doesn't remember Bleach very much. The magic system is very inconsistent. In the Serite later on, Kenpachi, of all people, Kenpachi, Chad, and Uryu, even his friends, his very inexperienced friends who knows nothing about these things. As soon as Renji and Ichigo clash swords together, they can sense them. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make a short on all of those, because I don't want to play the clip here. I've gotten copyright strike so many times on my videos. I have to make so many different versions, including me responding to this, by the way, at Claymon. But yeah, they definitely, especially in Ichigo's situation where his power is just leaking out of him, which is mostly power that Rukia gave him anyway. They should have picked up on him. He says they just got there, but that doesn't make a difference. At no point while they're there did they ever sense Ichigo until Ichigo even shows up there, and they never sense him at all. It never happens. But yeah, the sensory abilities in the show is something that's actually very, very inconsistent and causes a lot of problems. Let's continue.
He said, bro, they didn't sense us. They just got there. Like, they just arrived.
There isn't a time frame for it. If you're even like somewhat adequate at sensory abilities, a spiritual sensory, you're going to pick up that person immediately.
Like,
Gave him, so I'm not sure why they didn't just pinpoint him in the very beginning. Rukia denies it was a human who stole her powers, but Renji doesn't buy it and is certain of this because
It's obvious. Just look at you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that stupid human expression on your face. You're a runt from the Rukon district like me. And yet you were taken in by the noble house of Kuchiki. They put a lot of time and money into making you the perfect Soul Reaper, one of the elite. Huh? Am I wrong? You're the great Rukia Kuchiki, aren't you?
wow, that dialogue was awful. Thanks for the exposition on the
no. It's like, do we need to break down the dialogue?
Oh, please break down the dialogue for me.
Bro, come on. Come on, bro.
Put a lot of time and money into making you the perfect Soul Reaper, one of the elite. Huh?
Like, we learn a lot of things with this dialogue. Like,
It is bad dialogue and exposition. This dialogue is not for Rukia. This isn't something Renji would say. This is for the audience.
one, we learned that, like, Renji is low-key racist against humans, bro.
What? What the fuck? Renji's low-key. I can't even speak. Renji's low-key racist against humans. I'm done. Nope. He's just saying shit. Renji is low-key racist against humans, the people that he's charged with protecting and saving. No. How the fuck did you come to that conclusion? Yeah, he's racist against the people that he's charged to protect and save and all this stuff, including the fact that he's that stupid human expression on your face. That doesn't even make sense. The Soul Reapers aren't very different. Okay, all right. The Soul Reapers are basically humans themselves. There's humans that they lived and they died, and they're essentially just humans themselves with a lot of just life knowledge because they're so old and they fight all the time, and a lot of strength. So I'm not sure why he goes on about that stupid human expression on your face. And Renji's low-key racist against humans. I think you pulled that out of your ass. I'm not gonna lie. They put a lot of time and money into making sure you're the perfect Soul Reaper. Isn't that right, huh? You're the great Rukia Kuchiki. I'm surprised he's defending this.
Are from
What happened?
but this royal family, which hints at jealousy. And then he's like, and yet you also somehow became like an elite.
By the way,
Soul
Renji's hold on, yeah, hints at jealousy. Renji's the one that told her to join the Kuchikis.
Reaper.
Huh? Am I wrong? You're the great Rukia Kuchiki, aren't you?
wow, that dialogue was awful.
And then he's poking fun at her, right? Which lines up with what we learned later about how Renji and Rukia had a really bad past together, right?
They had a pretty good past together. And then Byakuya showed up one day wanting Rukia to join his family. And Renji's actually really happy for her because this is a great opportunity because They were both broke as hell. And he's like, this is incredible. A noble wants you to join the family. Rukia, you got to do it. You'll get all these things and perks and status. And Rukia does it.
How like they drifted apart, and you know, he kind of had this animosity towards Rukia.
Thanks for the exposition on the Kuchiki clan, though. Byakuya then shows up looking.
How does that lead to you having animosity towards Rukia? She goes to join the Kuchikis, and then you kind of, well, I would imagine Renji just stayed in the school. And then he eventually becomes Byakuya's lieutenant, and Rukia went to become someone else's lieutenant. They definitely drifted apart, sure, but I don't know how that led to animosity. You're the reason why she left.
Real cool.
You literally told her to go.
There is no exposition on the Kuchiki family, dude. He just said that they were rich. That's not exposition.
We did get exposition on the Kuchikis. Renji just said that you got taken in by them, and then they put a lot of time and money into you becoming the perfect Soul Reapers. Or, excuse me, not Soul Reapers, but Soul Reaper.
Dog, you don't know what exposition is.
That's exposition in general, that entire line of dialogue. I said thanks for the exposition on the Kuchiki clan, because yeah, now we know the Kuchiki clan is heavily invested in Rukia, and they wanted her to be the perfect Soul Reaper. And they put all their time, money, and resources into her being exactly that. That's exposition.
Oh my god.
Sexy, and Renji attacks Rukia while she her brother's presence. She narrowly avoids getting seriously injured, but why would Renji do such a thing? Why exactly is he so hostile towards Rukia here? He thinks someone stole her powers and not that she had given them away, so what's with all this evilman behavior? We find out later that these two are actually really good friends, and Renji's a really nice guy.
Well, they were really good friends.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said.
Were really good friends. Were very close.
Yeah, okay, so you're not being friends with someone anymore? Not that you had a fault. So Renji and Rukia not being friends anymore. Not that they had a falling out with each other, but like you said, they kind of just drifted apart because it just went different directions in life. There wasn't a big fight or a big breakup or anything of the sort. Leads to you trying to kill her or attacking her like this, even though you're not supposed to like kill her. I don't even know why he's even attacking her. I don't even know why Renji even approaches her with his sword drawn when Rukia is like incredibly weak compared to him right now. Or Rukia should have always been weak compared to Renji actually. And they're supposed to only apprehend her and bring her back to the Soul Society.
Were, as in past, as in they used to be, but are no longer. Were.
Yes.
But he's acting really out of character here. The animation and voice acting makes him come off as evil and malicious and to someone he actually really cares about. He's acting...
No, because they have drifted apart.
Renji still cares about Rukia. This is kind of disingenuous. They went different routes in life. Kind of like how a lot of people in real life just go different ways. Nothing happens between you and them. You didn't have a falling out or any sort of severe issue. You just went different routes in life. And now Renji's just completely hateful towards her. Even, by the way, this entire thing about how he's acting and how he's treating her right here, all that goes away once they go back to the Serite. Renji has always cared about Rukia.
Right? They're no longer
Renji loves Rukia, as a matter of fact.
super close friends.
Trying to kill her, and even though he's not supposed to, Byakuya kind of just watches and lets it happen. Anyway, Uyu senses the other Soul Reapers and shows up to give Rukia a hand. Back at the...
What do you mean they're not supposed to? Nobody said that they can't kill her, right?
I already made a short on this. They can kill her. Aizen sent them to apprehend Rukia. There's already a little short on my channel about this whole thing, so I'll just move on. I do love how many times he says that they never said that. That is pretty funny to me. Okay, let's get to it here.
This guy put a big shield in front of me. What am I supposed to...
Oh yeah, let me I talk about their
They never said that we're not allowed to kill you. They never
did.
said that, dude.
They did.
They never
did.
said that. They never
They
say
did.
we're not allowed to kill you. I'm just like swiping for the piss of it, right? They never
They
say
did.
that. Fuck.
They did.
When Ichigo finds a note and Kisuke shows up to help him into his Soul Reaper form and find Rukia. The hell is with all these damn flower petals tonight? Ichigo gets over to Rukia just as Uryu's getting his ass kicked, but he's there with no Kisuke. Not sure where he went, but whatever. Ichigo and Renji get into it.
What's up?
What do you mean not sure where he went?
Well, what I mean by that is Kisuke sent Ichigo to fight, to confront Renji and Byakuya by himself so he can just die. That's what I mean. And by the way, I've actually heard from a few people, I've actually heard that that I'm taking this the wrong way, because even though he sent them to fight Byakuya and Renji by himself, he wasn't really alone, because if anything went wrong, if they went too far, he would step in and save him. Byakuya would absolutely destroy Kisuke. Instead of just Ichigo dying, they would have both died.
And like the past 25 episodes, did you not get the impression that Kisuke is like a secretive guy.
If he was that secretive, he would have just let Rukia get taken, and then confront Ichigo later on that, hey, Rukia is gone, but I can help you get her back. There's no reason for him to actually send Ichigo out to fight Byakuya and Renji by himself, unless of course he just wanted him to die.
Like doesn't want.
But we know that isn't the case. And Kisuke claims that he's sending Ichigo out there just to see how powerful they are, to understand that he's too strong. Even though if he just lets Rukia get taken, it's like, he doesn't need to know their power level. He doesn't have a choice then to train with you, because there's no other way for him to go to the Serite. So I don't even know why Kisuke even sent him out there in the first place. He should just let Rukia get taken.
Like people to find out who he is. Like he's very reserved.
None of this has anything to do with Kisuke just sending Ichigo to his death, essentially.
He's always in the background. Like even during like the Don Kanonji chapter, right? Kisuke like
press ahead a little bit.
And would you look at this riveting fight scene between two Soul Reapers?
Oh yeah, this was pretty shit. Renji's just like swinging his sword over and over in the same direction against Ichigo, who's just blocking the same way.
Renji reveals his Shikai at Janpakuto's release.
Bro, I can't.
That was a bad fight scene, bro.
I can't, dude.
You can't. Dude,
is it an entertaining fight? No. But is it realistic? Yeah,
no.
That's probably
realistic. How? Renji's like 100-year-old Soul Reaper with a Shikai who's just, with all this experience and all this training, a lieutenant to Byakuya fucking Kuchiki of all people. And that's how he confronts Ichigo in a fight?
All you would be able to do.
That's all he'd be able to do. Absolute nonsense.
Right? Like Ichigo put a giant shield in front of him.
Ichigo doesn't even have actual training.
And like, what is Renji supposed to do? Just stand there?
Oh, yeah. Ichigo puts a giant shield in front of him. He puts a sword up and holds it in front of him as Renji repeatedly attacks in that one, literally the only way Ichigo's trying to protect him, attacks the only way Ichigo's trying to protect himself, and just keeps swinging at him over and over again. That's the only thing he'd be able to do. He's a moron. That was dumb. That was bad. The fuck? Ichigo puts a giant shield in front of him, and that's all he'd be able to do. What the fuck? Did you see what just happened there? It's like, yeah, it's not like Renji can't just like run him through the fucking stomach or do anything else. Flash step behind him. He can only attack the same position over and over again. The one place Ichigo's actually guarding.
You want him to just like stand there and be like, well, this guy put a big shield in front of me. What am I supposed to do, bruh? What am I supposed to do? I can't be doing nothing, bro.
You could just stab him instead of just swinging at the one place he's protecting over and over again.
This also might be because I've been watching like a lot of videos on like fencing and like how like appropriate sword fighting is supposed to look as well. So I'm just like, bro, come on, man.
These are Soul Reapers. These are fictional beings with incredible strength and speed and stamina. And Renji just swings at Ichigo. And why do I even need to explain this? Just watch that fight scene again. Listen to what Bleachhub just said and just rewatch that little clip there of him just swinging at Ichigo like that.
I don't know. Did you want Ichigo to like flip around the sword like gut?
I wanted Renji to flip around the sword. I wanted Renji to do like attack him in any other way other than the same thing over and over again as Ichigo just stands there and blocks.
Or something like.
Yes.
Ichigo, who's had no practice.
No, not Ichigo. Ichigo doesn't have any training. Ichigo doesn't even. He's just a guy swinging a big sword around. He doesn't. Renji's the fucking 200, 100, whatever. I don't know how old Renji is. He's the at least century-old Soul Reaper who's been training for this for the Zanpakuto and Byakuya for however long.
Sword. He's been around. He's been a Soul Reaper for like what, like a month or two, maybe at top.
This isn't Ichigo's fault. This is Renji's fault. This doesn't make Ichigo look bad. This makes Renji look bad.
And you think he's just gonna be like twirling his sword around? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Leaves form and slaps Ichigo for a bit until he gets a main character power up and reveals Renji's hairline in return.
That is true. I'll give him that. It actually is a main character power. Like it is like it is kind of for no reason. Like it is just like Ichigo's getting slapped.
Well, no, the main character power. There's a reason for it. There's a reason that comes up later on. A very strange. I'll get into that when we get there. I called it the main character power up here because I wasn't really sure what stance to have on it, because later on we find out why it happened, how it happened, but then it also brings up this like parallel issue. It's very strange, but we'll get into it when Kisuke starts training him.
And then he just kind of like beats the shit out of Renji, which is just like, what the fuck? Like it is kind of weird. I'll give you credit on that one. That one is a little yeah, I'll give you credit for that. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? Ichigo just goes and then just beats the dog shit out
Ichigo
of
was actually
him.
about to defeat this guy, but at last, Byakuya gets tired of the bull, drops Ichigo, breaks his sword, and leaves with Rukia through a magic portal. Renji opens up.
And like the weird thing is that like it's not even like it's not even like
Okay, we'll get into it. Let me just get
this
ahead
one was
here.
just like
Wait,
Ichigo again. They, meaning the higher ups in the Soul Society, will add 20 years to her sentence. Now wait a minute. What do you mean 20 years to her sentence? Her sentence is death. Hell, even Kisuke knows that. Speaking of Kisuke, Ichigo just kind of lying there dying, and Kisuke shows up to save him. So I guess Kisuke just...
I think that just shows that like Renji's not as much as informed as like the higher ups, right? I think for one, that shows that Kisuke has way more knowledge than
okay, so yeah, he's talking about how Kisuke knew the Rukia was gonna die because he has more knowledge than Renji. This is a world building thing. I would say this is Soul Reaper Academy stuff. Every Soul Reaper, regardless of whatever level they're on, whatever position they have, should know that giving a human your powers is gonna get you executed. This shouldn't be like, oh yeah, Kisuke has more knowledge than Renji. Everyone should know that. Everyone should have that information. Just like how everyone knows about Shikais and Bankais, everyone should know as a Soul Reaper, these are the things that can get you killed. Bleachhub is saying that shows that Kisuke is more knowledgeable than Renji. Why in this particular instance, on this particular matter, he shouldn't be though. They should all have this information.
we know about. That somehow Kisuke is like this big brain dude, right? It's just like bro, how does Kisuke?
Well, that's the law of the series that's just law by Central 46. That's just law in the Soul Society. They're governed. They should all be governed knowing like, hey, this can get you killed or this would lead to you being executed. But I guess Renji just isn't as knowledgeable, even though this is something that should be in every Soul Reaper's mind.
I know all of this, and then it also shows that like while Renji might have like some authority and might be kind of like some big dick Soul Reaper, he's not exactly like top tier. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not very high on the chain
Renji's a lieutenant, second to only captains.
to know at least the full deets of what's going down.
helped Ichigo into his Soul Reaper form and told him where Rukia is, just to watch him fight and get beat up. What the hell, Kisuke? What if Byakuya killed this kid? The next morning, he tells Ichigo
Yeah, that was the wait. Hold on.
Dude, that was the point.
The point was for Byakuya to kill him.
That was the point. Kisuke wanted Ichigo to get just absolutely.
Yeah. You're missing my point though. How do you know that's what was gonna happen? How do you know that Byakuya wouldn't just kill him? That Ichigo wouldn't just get smothered by these two people? That you just send him to fight by himself? Do you see the issue here? Well, clearly he doesn't. But you, if whoever's watching this, whoever might be watching it, do you see the issue here?
Cock slap, bro. Like
he actually let him get fucked up because he wanted him to understand that currently he's too weak and stands no chance against other Soul Reapers. Again, it's pretty lucky that Byakuya didn't just kill Ichigo, especially since that was nothing but an unnecessary risk. Kisuke doesn't even know what kind of man-sized Soul Reaper would have been sent for Rukia.
well, I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
if like they sent Kenpachi and
Oh my God, that doesn't have anything to do. Address what I just said, Bleachhub. It's like, what the hell? What if Byakuya killed him? And he talks about what if they said? Well, he talks about Kenpachi, it's like, dude, forget that. Byakuya is way more powerful and way more dangerous than Kenpachi.
Kenpachi just murdered Ichigo, then you know it's teats up. Rukia is
It's teached up if Byakuya just killed him. But that's what. Jesus Christ.
gonna die anyway, right? It was either like Ichigo gets fucked up to teach him a lesson.
How do you know who would fuck him up and who would kill him? Byakuya is far more powerful than Kenpachi. Like to a laughable extent, how much more powerful Byakuya is than Kenpachi.
Or Ichigo just dies, and then it's just like, well, we're gonna do anything anyway. Like you just probably go with Plan B, right? Just be like, all right, well, I'll just send in like Yoruichi, Uryu, Chad, and Orihime.
What? I have no idea what he's talking about. Well, I'll go with Plan B and send in. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know why his mind just went to Kenpachi just now. Byakuya is far more the greater threat.
You know, although you could like most of the Shinigami, if they were sent, like, if Yamamoto went, he would have killed Ichigo.
Oh my God, you don't know. The point is, Kisuke doesn't know who's gonna kill Ichigo and who isn't. He doesn't even really know Byakuya like that. I think he knew him as a kid, like I say in the video, but he doesn't. He's just some captain now who's. When was the last time Byakuya was even a kid? Like at the very least a century ago. Why would you risk this? This doesn't make any sense. Just let him take Rukia. And the whole like it's teached up for Ichigo if Kenpachi just kills him. Yeah, it would be teached up for him if Byakuya just killed him. As a matter of fact, part of the reason why this is kind of just like, because I'm pretty sure Byakuya and Renji leave thinking that not only have Byakuya destroyed Ichigo's powers, but he's just gonna die anyway.
If Soifun went, she would have killed him. Gin probably wouldn't have.
Okay, let's just move ahead here. I don't even.
Byakuya, as we know, Byakuya Byakuya actually wasn't going to kill Ichigo, by the way. Like, Byakuya he cuts Ichigo's soul chain and soul sleep, leaves him on the ground.
Under the impression that he was gonna die anyway. They didn't care. That it doesn't come to their mind like, wait a minute, boy, we destroy his powers, but he's still like a kid. He's still just a human, right? Shouldn't we make sure he's safe? They don't care. They leave there under the impression. Byakuya and Renji right now in the Soul Society think Ichigo's dead. Byakuya is leaving knowing, or under the impression that, yes, I just killed the person that took Rukia. I just killed the person that had Rukia's power. That's just dust off your hands. That whole thing is done. Not only did I destroy his powers, but I killed him.
Because Ichigo grabs his kimono, that Byakuya says, I guess you won't be needing that hand, right? But like, even then, like, Byakuya is not going to kill Ichigo. He he does everything he can to incapacitate him. So Byakuya is not here to kill him. Then who else do we have? Like, Shunsui probably wouldn't, like, Shunsui definitely wouldn't kill him, right? We have Tozen. Tozen wouldn't because he's working with Aizen. Sajin is debatable.
Okay, let's just move ahead here. Once again, the fact of the matter is that Kisuke doesn't know this.
It's kind of hard to gauge what the fuck Sajin would do. Like, he'd probably beat the shit out of Ichigo and then leave and call it boring. He just let him bleed out. Plus, we know that Kisuke was close by as well, because like as soon as they leave, Kisuke comes with the umbrella. So,
oh yeah, very important to note. Like, this is what was brought to my attention by someone else actually. That if anything too crazy happened, Kisuke would have stepped in. Kisuke would have just died with Ichigo. Simple as that. Byakuya would have destroyed him.
Surely, like, if Byakuya was gonna like decapitate Ichigo or something, Kisuke would have stepped in, right?
And gotten himself killed.
Kisuke was around the area, so
that's true. He was.
Act like he would. Anyway, Ichigo wants to save Rukia, but doesn't know how to get to the Soul Society, so Kisuke makes a deal with him. Train with him for 10 days, and he'll tell him how to get to the Soul Society. According to Kisuke, Soul Society normally takes a month to execute someone, so he'll have 10 days to train Ichigo, 7 days to open the gate to the Soul Society, and 13 days to actually save her once he gets there. It doesn't make sense for a few reasons. Why the hell would Kisuke want or allow Ichigo to be in the Soul Society for that long? This should be a get in and get out kind of mission, a few days long at most.
The Soul Society's huge, dude. Like, the Soul Society is, like, in and of itself another realm, right? And then the Serite is like the size of like a continent, right?
I was saying this should have been a get in and get out kind of mission. It should have been a stealth mission at the most. That should have been the plan, but they actually don't really have a plan. They just go there and just run a rampage in the Soul Society, or excuse me, the Serite. It works out in their favor, surprisingly enough, because the captains are just actual morons. I'm not gonna lie. I have a short on my channel that I really should find some way to put that in my video, where there's a few like regular storypers talking about, man, like the response that we're having to the invaders. I gotta be honest, I don't even think neither the captains or the lieutenants even know what they're doing anymore, honestly. And I have to agree. Their response to Ichigo and his friends coming in is absolutely god-awful. It makes the storypers look really bad and extremely incompetent. As I say later on, I compare them to stormtroopers, the balance keepers of the universe. And once again, with Kisuke's knowledge of the Soul Reapers, being in the Serite for this long is extremely dangerous. Just like me snapping my fingers, the Soul Reapers captains and can just easily track down and apprehend Ichigo and his friends, and the mission is over instantly. If they actually wanted to, but obviously for some reason they don't actually want to do that. And they, for the most part, really do nothing.
Yeah, you probably would want at least 2 weeks, if not more time, to rummage around a continent.
Here's the thing I was saying, right? As Bleachhub said, the time period that they have is pretty good for them just rummaging around a continent. The captains can instantly find the invaders. The plan should have been something more stealth driven, some way to keep themselves hidden, which we know Kisuke have the ability to do because we know he can hide people. He has like this coat that hides himself from people trying to sense him, and we know that you can use spells on people to hide them as well. That should have been the objective. So from Kisuke's point of view, right, this doesn't even make sense from Kisuke's point of view. The minute they get into the Serite, they can quit. Just as soon as they step foot on it, they can be apprehended because they have no defenses and no way of fighting captains at all. This is why I say this should have been a stealth mission.
Find wherever this chick is being held.
To avoid everyone and anything as much as possible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody said, all right, buddy, I'm going to give you 14 days to find this chick in Asia, I'd be like, can I get more time, please? What the fuck, dude? I'd be like, 13 days? That is not a lot, dude.
No, that's the issue. You don't want to be in the Serite for that long. Like, I say this over and over again. They're very fortunate because the captains are just morons. That's the only reason they get away with this. You really don't want to be in the Serite for that amount of time. The fact that they were able to just run around and do whatever they wanted for that extended period once they actually do get there, it's just because of the captains and lieutenants just sheer incompetence.
A continent? I gotta explore a continent, dude.
Kisuke is much stronger, older, and more experienced than Renji as a Soul Reaper, so why can't he just use his Zanpakuto to open a portal like Renji just did the night before, and give himself even more time to train Ichigo? And why didn't Kisuke introduce himself and start training Ichigo from the very beginning? He knew since at least episode 2 who Rukia was, and what she had done and what the consequences would be. He even sensed Byakuya and Renji before they arrived in Karakura Town. Hell, even when the time came for
Yeah, I don't know. This was actually a strange thing. Kisuke like sensed Byakuya and Renji while they were like in between dimensions. I think they were still in the Dangai or wherever they were before they actually came out the other end of the portal.
Ichigo to enter the Soul Society, Kisuke left out key information that Kubo essentially just wrote that way to prolong the show. Not only that, but you'll start to notice Kisuke and even the main big bad of the entire show are written to be more akin to a plot device than actual characters.
Well, we know that, like, we don't know that he's an actual Shinigami, though. Like, we know that.
Yes, you don't know that as the audience, but in universe he is a very, very experienced Shinigami, a captain.
Hell,
Because Kisuke doesn't want to get involved with them initially. Like, Kisuke's like, look, I'll sell you things, but he tries to distance himself from them as
If Kisuke never wanted to get involved, he wouldn't have put the Hogyaku inside Rukia. Simple.
much as he possibly can.
That literally kicks off this whole thing.
Right? Because we know that, like, Kisuke seals the Hogyoku inside of,
Yeah, why did he do that if he didn't want to get involved?
what's her name?
Rukia.
Rukia. Yeah. But he's just like, that's like about the extent that he'll go. But now that the Hogyoku's been
That's the biggest issue here. Sealing the Hogyaku in someone he knows Soul Reaper is going to come looking for.
stolen, he's like, I need to get involved. Power scale, Anos Volagold. Yeah, how about you donate for that video? Fuck that. I'm not doing that.
You know what's funny? Kisuke could have actually put a spell on Rukia that would hide her. That's something that Momo can do.
Free? The fuck's wrong with you?
That's something that they said that would be child's play for Momo, actually.
PayPal's in the Discord, though, bruh.
we get a clip of Rukia in the Soul Society being held prisoner talking to Renji about her brother and her execution. I don't know why Rukia just doesn't try to explain herself to Renji and her brother. It's against the law in the Soul Society for Soul Reapers to give their powers away to humans, but Ichigo...
I gotta be honest, I actually thought about this before. There's a chance that they might have just had that happen, but off screen. That this is after that whole process. Maybe Rukia already did try to explain herself and they just didn't give a shit.
isn't just any old normal human. He could already see and interact with souls long before he met Rukia, plus Ichigo's been doing her job for months now.
Like, why would that save her life, though, dude?
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know why she doesn't make an argument at all about like why she shouldn't be killed for it. That Ichigo isn't just some random run of the mill. He's aware of souls. And when he got Rukia's powers, he took all her orders. He did everything. I mean, yeah, she had to push him for it, but he did it for months. He helped keep that same balance. There was a crazy Quincy kid that brought a bunch of hollows there and was killing them, and I had to step in and defeat the Menos Grandes and just, like I said, like, wouldn't this at least help her case?
Like, which essentially you should have to look at it like
what?
What she did was like murder or something, right? And it's like,
Yeah, they definitely treat her like that. Like they're gonna kill her for giving her powers away. But like I said, I don't think it didn't seem like she made an argument for herself or tried to like defend herself. But hey, like I said, wouldn't this at least help? I don't know. It doesn't seem like she tried. We get nothing from her. We get no like, not just before the quarter or Central 46, but we get nothing from her in front of Byakuya or Renji or anything like that.
well, like, I don't know, but like, and then Ruki's like reason for not
I want to see this whole part of her character thing.
getting murdered is she's like, well, I murdered a guy to stop another guy from getting murdered, right? But then you'd be like, I don't know, that's kind of contestable. Like, that's definitely still going to be contest. Like, they're not just going to free her, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're gonna go through with this, especially since Aizen's controlling Central 46.
That information is a non sequitur to the legal case. Yeah, like even then, like
That information is a non sequitur to the legal case. Look, I just wanted something from Rukia to these people, anyone at all. Like, dude, I was injured. This hollow was gonna run. I think about this and I'm just like, I don't see how. So you get injured by a hollow, right? A hollow that you were pursuing that's about to kill some kid, kill his family, and do whatever else in the Karakura town. And instead of letting that happen, the kid that you give your powers to could already see and interact with the hollow. He could already sense the hollow before you did. So you give him your powers to become a Soul Reaper, and he defeats the hollow, saves himself, his family, and on top of that, continues the orders you get. He continues taking them for you and keeping that same. Like, I don't. Surely there's no way that. Once again, I know Aizen's in control of 146, but bro, come on. Rukia is not exactly just standing on absolutely nothing here. She has some sort of foundation.
Like, let's even take that example. Like, let's say that like Rukia murdered somebody to prevent someone else from getting murdered.
Yeah.
It's just like you would
add all the context now. Add all the like fill in the part once again, just like I did, right?
would still have to go through the trial, right? Like, you would still have to do everything. They're not just gonna let you out of jail.
Oh no, absolutely, I get that. I know the Nagas.
And this is even worse, apparently, right? This is apparently like one of the biggest crimes you can commit in the Soul Society.
It certainly is.
So it's just like, why would it matter?
Dude, her actions wasn't just like, I'm just gonna give this kid my powers. But once again, Rukia gives them no context, no nothing. Not that we know of anyway.
Why does it matter at all? And especially because we know that Rukia doesn't want to involve Ichigo anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to involve Ichigo. Byakuya destroyed his powers already. You could just explain why you did what you did.
So why would she bring it up? That would be inconsistent with her character, bro.
Oh, bringing up Ichigo, getting Ichigo involved would be inconsistent. You don't have to get him involved. Just explain yourself. To Byakuya, to Renji, to anybody, to... yeah, even to Essential 46, because once again, they don't know that Aizen's controlling them.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, bruh.
My bad, bro.
Would this not be a good argument to present in Soul Reaper Court? No. Rukia never really tries to make an argument as to why she should.
You know why she doesn't? Because it'd be inconsistent with her character, dude.
But before that, I should probably mention a few things about Kisuke's training. The first is
Kisuke's beautiful, beautiful training.
getting Ichigo's spirit energy back, since apparently he's lost it, but it's easier enough to regain. All Ichigo needed to get it back is have his soul removed from his body and get chased around by someone who he perceives to be a genuine threat to him. No, I'm not kidding. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's it.
This I don't
Wasn't difficult. Wasn't anything too complicated.
particularly care about. This is just critiquing like how Kubo's setting up his powers.
There was no critique here. Here he goes on this fucking thing again. Let's see if I can push ahead of this. There was no critique here. I'm literally just letting the audience know the process. I believe there's 3. There's this. And I believe him falling into a hole. And then
PayPal, because PayPal takes like
talking to his audience there. I'm trying to get the next one. Here we go. Oh fuck, I went too far.
Make sense. What do you mean?
I mean,
Oh, yeah, okay, so I completely skipped this. I have no idea what it was. Kisuke says that his power level rises. One's power level rises in sense of danger to try to protect itself. And that when you're in those situations, it's basically kind of like an explanation of what happened between Renji and Ichigo. And then here, Zangetsu, Ichigo's Zanpakuto spirit, is telling him that his own power hid itself when Byakuya stabbed him. But that's strange, right? I'll talk about it. Let me pull it back a little. So why would it do that? Why wouldn't it rise to protect you? I mean, hell, you can still get stabbed and fucked up, but it's fine. Like, why did it do the exact? It's not like it didn't do anything. It did the exact opposite of what Kisuke.
hell no, I'm not watching the episodes. It takes too long, but I'll read it, dude.
Let's hear this here.
Hell no, manga, bro. Fuck them damn animes, bro. Different interpretation. But like, I don't see the problem, man. Like,
Well, this doesn't make sense. Like I said, Zangetsu says his own power hid itself when Byakuya stabbed him. It's like, well, that's the exact opposite of what's supposed to happen, isn't it? Now we have an issue here. If it did nothing, that would have been one thing. But hell, it hid itself. Ichigo's power, call it Zangetsu, Quincy Zangetsu, or Hollow Zangetsu, essentially just said, "Oh fuck this, I'm out. Just let him die."
like Ichigo clearly had some hidden powers, like when the series started, right? Like he clearly had
Yeah, you can already see the
something going on, right? There was something there. Something about this guy wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, he's a Shinigami.
Yeah.
Woo! Like, is that really that shocking, bro?
That's not my issue.
Come on, man.
I get it, man. It's a long video. There's 3 parts. He's probably exhausted. He probably didn't really want to do it. But Jesus Christ, man, you're just going off on tangents that I'm not even. That he gets upset about things that I have no problem with. And right here, I have no issue with Ichigo already having hidden powers. Is that his powers hid itself specifically, like I just already said, like 60 seconds ago.
It's like when Goku, like you find out that he's a Saiyan. It's like you being like, what? No way! Goku's not from the planet.
I don't know what the hell. This has nothing to do with what I said. Of what I showed.
Planet. Oh, you're just like, come on, bro. Like,
Mean Ichigo's own power hid itself before Byakuya's thrust. Kisuke just said that his spirit energy increases when you're in danger. So why did Ichigo's own power hide itself? How does that even work? What Kisuke said literally an episode before this about one's own power increasing to try and protect them makes far.
Well, damn. I guess with that note, it just makes that whole like power up thing
Yes.
consistent, right?
Oh yeah, the main character power up. Kisuke definitely put that into context for us. Except this just couldn't. This is a strange thing with how Bleach is written. The main character power up, Kisuke kind of put it into context. He kind of explains what happened. So with this information, the main character power up doesn't really seem that doesn't seem that much of a main character power up. That's just something that's that's essentially just how Soul Reapers work. You're right. You're right. The problem why I brought this back into this frame right here, what I did here, is because of what Zangetsu has just said to Ichigo. Excuse me.
He's like, bro, your powers get like higher whenever you're in danger. Well, damn, dude. Like, I guess that one point that I gave you about like Ichigo, you know, like getting some random power up is now consistent, bro. Guess it's now consistent, bro. Because
Oh yeah, it is consistent, right? Because once again, his power level just rolls out of the blue as he's getting beaten down from the jump. But Kisuke puts that into frame for us, explains it. These people, I talk about this in part 2, I believe. It's like, dude, even when you kill this guy, like his power level still rises. Just not here though. Just in this particular instance, he just for some reason left him to die.
because that's how you're gonna phrase it, bro. Hey, Ronald Thomas, thank you for the 5, my dude.
Far more sense than this bull. What should have happened was instead of
Yeah, Ichigo. Yeah. Ichigo definitely gets the main character power ups the most out of everyone else. It's the most consistent with Ichigo, I will admit. The power levels rising to protect you out of the fucking blue is the most consistent for Ichigo, except when the plot does need it. For instance, like right here, I don't know why that happened, but okay.
hiding away, Ichigo's own power should have risen in an attempt to protect him from danger, like he did against Renji while he was still in his Soul Reaper form. At least for the sake of consistency, but
Well, that wasn't his power. That was Ruki's power. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
regardless,
Wait, Rukia's power rose in an effect. But wait a minute, hold on a sec. If that was Rukia's power that just rose in an attempt to protect Ichigo, then that's not consistent. Your little like your happy dance there doesn't actually work if Rukia's power is what tried to protect Ichigo at the last minute there against Renji.
Ichigo makes it out of the hole as a Soul Reaper wearing a hollow mask. Nice little wink there for later. We're on to the third and final lesson, which is knocking Kisuke's hat off his head. During this little fight, Kisuke reveals his Zanpakuto Shikai, and Ichigo learns the name of his
Oh well, yeah. I suppose that would have been. Wait, yeah. I suppose Rukia's power stepped up, but his just kind of hid away. Yeah.
own Zanpakuto, gaining his own
Yeah,
Shikai
yeah. I got kind of confused just stuff.
form and new ability, Getsuga Tensho. It's a fairly basic ability where his spiritual pressure is sent forward from the blade of his sword in the form of a blue slash, which I'm pretty sure he's actually done before, though he doesn't know the name of it yet. He uses that to get
well, that's not a Getsuga Tensho. That's just him reversing the spiritual pressure back at his opponent.
Yeah, I thought that was Getsuga Tensho. I'm not gonna lie. My second watch, I was like, did he accidentally fire the Getsuga Tensho? Why did I think that? It looks like a Getsuga Tensho. He swung his sword, got really angry, and a blue slash came out.
But yeah.
his hat off, and that was the end of the lessons. Not the worst training I've seen, but far from the best and can barely even be called serviceable.
Yep.
All Kisuke did was help each with his own sword power, but not much training was actually done.
Very important, but yes.
For instance,
Very important to make him powerful, but gave him nothing to roll with.
Kisuke didn't teach Ichigo how to control and better use his own spiritual power.
Yes.
This guy didn't help him improve on fighting with his sword.
Bro, did you
What?
Bruh.
Yes.
When Ichigo's fighting Jidambo, he talks about this. Like, bro, Kubo's not gonna, or the anime staff and Kubo are not gonna have you sit here for like 20 chapters just watching Ichigo and Kisuke spar. You would get really.
I could have just did a montage. Is he actually gonna act like you really have to show all these things happening? And yeah, definitely Ichigo definitely touched on this with Jidambo. How did he touch on it with Jidambo as useful in part 2? Whenever the fuck I get that done. He literally just says, yeah, he didn't teach me anything. I got really strong really fast. I don't really know anything. Can't control my power. Yeah, but you know, I got big muscles.
bored of that. Like, that would get really boring very quickly.
I don't know why he thinks that like you actually have to show every little minute detail of the training. I mean, hell, even when Ichigo's in the Soul Society and they have flashbacks to him and Kisuke, even that's not even a bad idea. Wait a minute. How long have I been recording? Oh my God, I've been recording. Holy shit, I gotta get this done.
So, like, all of the moments where they're like just fighting each other sporadically and sparring.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I was saying about the flashbacks. Yeah, you could have even touched on that. Have moments where Ichigo and don't take me literally. They're just sitting by the campfire, you know, roasting some marshmallows. And he's like, Ichigo, this is dangerous where you're going. There's these captains there. This is how they work. You know, each each division seems to be like specifically for one thing. Explain that a little bit of that to him. Explain the people who be coming across, possibly. Just just the things he knows about the Soul Reapers and the universe, and give him any information that can help Ichigo. He doesn't give him anything. Fucking nothing. They could have put that in the flashbacks as well. They could have put them talking about Kido in the flashbacks. Because once again, the flashbacks is just once again Ichigo getting stronger. There's one in particular where Kisuke is like, when you protect someone, you don't let them die. When you attack to kill. That whole Thanos thing, you go for the head. Looking back at that, it's kind of strange that Kisuke is just like, yeah, just, go in there and kill. Soul Reapers are the good guys, by the way, but yeah, go in there and, whatever happened, just kill people. That would have actually fucked up Ichigo a lot more than what's happening if Ichigo actually just was killing people. I just thought about that. These kids, like, when you attack people, go for the kill.
That's all off screen. So yeah, Kisuke did.
Wait a minute now. Ichigo doesn't know how to control his power. Ichigo doesn't know anything about Kido. Ichigo doesn't know about the captains. The only thing that happened off screen was just more training, more big training, more him getting stronger and faster. None of that other shit happened off screen. Everything I just mentioned about what Kisuke left out of training, none of that happened off screen. We know that for a fact.
Help him with that. What? They're talking about this during the Jidambo fight.
Or even though Ichigo was about to go up against.
Oh yeah, let me finish this. The Jidambo fight, man, I don't know. Should I spoil it? I played a clip, not a clip, but I had a still image in Ichigo's audio. I want you to hear what Ichigo says about Kisuke's training in the Jidambo fight. It's gonna be fantastic.
Centuries old beings, far more experienced than him, and didn't give him any information on said beings, which he'll be fighting later, and he didn't even mention anything about the spells Soul Reapers can cast in battle. Offensive, defensive, and healing. So
because Ichigo already knows about Kido.
He knows that people can cast Kido. He doesn't know anything about it. He knows Rukia has spells that she uses. He has no idea how to use them himself. He has no idea what he's about to encounter. He has no idea the people that are complete masters that would destroy him with spells. But okay, that's actually, I never even thought about that. Throughout the entirety of Bleach, I don't think Ichigo actually learns Kido.
Seeing Rukia use it, he just doesn't have any proficiency for it.
Bruh, like, he knows, like, there's spells that they can cast. He doesn't know much about the spells. He himself doesn't know how to use these spells. And he has no idea how to deal with these spells when you come across them, other than just power out of them. Although, to be fair, I don't think, well, other than using your own counter spell, I don't think you can actually do anything about a Kido spell other than just power out of it.
It's like Renji. Like, if Ichigo has, like, no proficiency for Kido,
how do you know he doesn't have proficiency for Kido? I've never seen Ichigo train Kido. Never seen anyone even talk about Kido to Ichigo.
Why even bother, bro? Like,
because he's going to be coming across Kido masters and fighting all these people. The mission for the Soul Society, and I talk about this, should have been a get in, get out kind of stealth mission, right? They should have had Yoruichi like put spells on them to hide them, but it isn't. It's really like this blunderbuss like fight whoever gets into your way and get Rukia out of there. They really didn't have much of a plan.
Why even bother? It's like trying to teach Renji.
Why even what? Oh my god, nothing about world building and writing whatsoever. If you're about to send someone, if you're from this weird place and you're training this kid up to go to this place where there's other people like you who are strong, they have Shikais, Bankais, and they can cast weird Gandalf magic spells, you wouldn't want to give him a heads up on that? It's like, yeah, I know you think Rukia is cool, but bruh, you're about to come across some crazy stuff. In fact, maybe I can teach you a little thing or two, at least give you a little something to better handle these people you're about to encounter. Again, just sends Ichigo to die. It's kind of weird that Bleachhub actually agrees with Kisuke just not giving him anything, but okay.
Kido, like Renji dumped that shit. Like he just doesn't have a proficiency for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't remember Ichigo ever even trying Kido. I have no idea whether or not he'd be good at it. I do know that with his power level, he'd be pretty his spells would be pretty potent.
Why bother?
Why bother? Yeah, you know what? Why even bother telling him about the captains and Bankais or anything, really? I mean, who gives a shit? You're pretty decently strong. Just get in there and fight. Why bother even actually make a plan about where to land, how to go, where to go, how to actually get Rukia out, and how you can actually protect Rukia once you bring out of the Surete? Why bother with any of this? Who gives a shit?
I don't think they can, because there's too many, like, the critiques aren't good, right? So I don't think it can.
Training just like him and have gotten stronger, but Ichigo isn't good at sense and stuff like that, so we can't really tell. Odihime has magic, hairpin, fairy powers that can shield and heal people with some light offensive attacks. Uryu, who we already know is a Quincy, should now have an even higher power level than before, and Chad hits things really hard. Also,
Yeah.
Kisuke's got Yoruichi's going.
Hell yeah, Chad does. Chad
hits things really hard.
the Chad, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need to sell your soul for that impulse. Yeah, that 5K
Yeah.
was just the first thing that came to my head.
Bro,
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
think
2
I don't
hours
think I'd actually do that video. I don't think.
I can cut this down, I'd probably get it to 2 hours and 30. I didn't even know it was this
There's
long.
enough money to do that. Well, surely
There's
there
1
is.
minute
Right?
left.
Like if
Come
someone
on,
was like, "I'm gonna
let's
give
do
you
this, bro.
$100,000," I'd be like,
Come
fuck.
on.
I will upload the video. Why not? 100K, easy. We got DBZ. I'm Rand because of iPad.
Oh my
A
god, let's do
chunk
this.
of money. Please do it through the PayPal, because YouTube's gonna take 40% of that.
Hold on, let me hit.
Look, we're gonna pop out somebody in. Funny. Dude, you know what's funny? They even have Ikisuke like touch the barrier and it zaps him. Like it doesn't let him go through.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. I was wrong on this one. Got no problem with admitting that. I didn't know that they could lock well, not only that they could, but they did essentially lock Kisuke out of the Soul Society. I had no idea when he touched that gate that's what that zap implied, that he couldn't go there. I didn't know that. You're right on that one. Yoruichi just went missing, so she was able to go back in there. Tessai was also charged too, so he can't go in. Yeah, I didn't know that's what that was, but yeah.
Now, this whole setup makes no sense. For some reason, there isn't any mention or discussion amongst our characters as
Oh yeah, very important stuff right here, guys.
to where in the Soul Society they'll appear, or how they'll be able to make their way to Rukia and get her out safely without everyone getting themselves killed.
Because they don't know. Like they literally don't know where they're gonna go. Like Yoruichi when they're running
If I'm not mistaken, Aizen knew that they were gonna appear there. How the fuck did Aizen know that they were gonna appear in the Rukon guy? But Kisuke didn't know that.
through the thing, she's like, "Look, we're gonna pop out some."
Aizen was like, of course I knew you'd arrive in the Rukon guy because that's where Kisuke is. He's man. Aizen knew. He knew that because of something with Kisuke. I don't know how Kisuke wouldn't know that himself, where this portal is gonna go, but I know I'll put it in the description if I can.
Somebody in like somewhere in the Soul Society, and we're
Wait a minute. I made me think of something just now. Does that mean that they actually could have just landed like way out into the Soul Society? Like, because the way they actually landed like right outside the gates. It wasn't that far. But does that mean they could have just landed like a million miles? I don't even know if there's a million. I don't know how big the Soul Society is, but could that have happened? Because that's actually funny.
just gonna have to make the best of it, right? Like we can't really complain. Is the $200 I gave enough for the Anos vid? Yeah, I'll watch the anime for you, buddy. I will say,
Pursued by a bunch of Soul Reapers. This is the biggest obstacle.
how much for a Fate waifu tier list?
Yeah.
We never finished that, didn't we? We never finished that.
I don't think it mentions anything else.
I don't know, like
Oh my god, I don't want this to reach
do it
3
for
hours, man.
50. I don't know, like, like that's all.
You actually spent the you mentioned a couple of times that you actually agree with some of his criticism and the errors you made in the video. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, like I said, part one is one I'd probably work on the most in terms of the things I say. I'm fairly proud of everything all put together. You know, it's very difficult to get it all done, but part one I changed quite a few stuff in part one. Part 2 and 3 is going to be a lot of fun. Not that that they're flawless. I didn't make any errors or mistakes there too, but as far as a critique of the show, I got to be honest, man. I've seen nothing but praise for Bleach. Let me get through this first.
A lot of things to go through, but I do like talking about Fate. So it's just like, I don't know, like
there's 25 seconds.
Not
But
much.
display the rest. Come on.
I'll probably enjoy that stream, so not too much.
They face, even if they actually save Rukia, but no one clears this up. In fact, this whole plan is pretty shit, and these guys are seriously unprepared for all this.
Yes.
But Kisuke sends them off anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, bro. They kind of have to act fast. They don't
The point is the plan is shit. They had, what am I looking at here? They had 10 days to train Ichigo and 7 days. They have 17 days, and Kisuke says nothing to this kid. Makes no sort of actual plan. They're just going there to get Rukia. I said the plan is pretty shit. They don't have a plan. The plan, the idea, the goal is to get Rukia. There's no actual plan to get it done.
have a whole lot of time to plan, dude.
They had like 2-3 weeks, I believe. I have a picture. I think they had like 15 days, like half a month, 2 weeks.
He's like, bro, they have to like rush in there to save Rukia. Why is this not like a better plan? It's like, dog,
Well, to be fair, I said that wrong. There isn't a plan.
they don't have time. They don't have like years of preparation for
You don't need years. You need, unironically, like one good day of discussion to get a good setup going.
this. Like they just kind of have to go in there.
Yeah, sure, Bleach. Sure. It's okay that it makes no fucking sense and that they have no plan and this is really dumb. But yeah, they're so short on time, you know?
With no real way of succeeding on this mission. And so off they go with about 20 days till Rukia's execution.
wait a minute. You're probably wondering how Chad and Orihime can not only see souls but also have powers of their own. And I don't really know. According to Urahara, Ichigo being so strong had an influence on them. So I guess that's it. Although how it gave fairies that can actually talk is a bitch. Oh yeah, how it gave Orihime like conscious like fairy friends is really strange. But you know, that's Reiatsu and spiritual power for you.
Probably wondering how Chad and Orihime can not only see souls but also have powers of their own. Well, one, we learn later on that they have full bring, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I completely forgot. They This is another strange thing. There's a couple of things that makes me really want to press through this show. But one of them is that Kisuke gave them this response. It was Ichigo. Then later on we get the Hogyoku response. And then later on we get the full bring response. I have no idea which one of these is the truth. Kisuke's just throwing shit at the wall. Not Kisuke, Kubo. Maybe all three of them is true. Ichigo had an influence, their full brings, and the Hogyoku. I have no idea.
So we know that they're full bringers, and that Ichigo basically awakened the powers of them, right? And then we know that this is like a consistent thing. Like people that are like really strong themselves become a nexus for other people to like awaken their own abilities, like Hashfold as well. He's another good example. So, all right, episode 1. Now moving on to part 2. Holy shit, bro.
So what you want to
Hey, yeah, we gotta stop this right here though, man. Where are we? We're at 136. Yeah, we gotta stop recording. We've been going too long. We're going after this for 2 hours and 54 fucking minutes. I have no idea how the audio is gonna come out on this. I hope for the best. I'm using OBS. I'm gonna have to like listen to this again while I'm at work, man, because I have to. Anyway, until next time, I'm gonna try to. I think he speeds it up even further, so I'm gonna try to fit part 2 and 3 in one video. I gotta get through this faster. This was the first time for me doing this though. Doing this, it's kind of live because I'm not doing any edits. I'm just gonna try to make it shorter. I'm not really gonna focus too much on anything. I don't give a like. But yeah, till next time.